Now I know to push the button.
Yep. You can't just click it.
Learned that.
Alright, you gotta back way up. Scoochy, scoochy.
We're here. Usually just wait until he starts to see hang out.
Come on. TikTok peeps. We're on Instagram today. Good morning,
We're all
everyone.
over.
Thank you for joining us. It's Tuesday.
What does that mean?
It's Tutorial Tuesday.
Tutorial Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, we're learning some upholstery tricks, and today we're going over deep button tufting with Lisa from Ramsay House Upholstery. We already upholstered the seat of this with foam and batting. We're going to be showing the fabric. Go get the front fabric. Let's adjust it. Get your coffee, ladies. Buckle up.
Buckle up. It's going to be
an
a
exciting
fun
day.
day. Hey, Sarah.
All right, put this on. Sarah Cuchero?
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah Cuchero. Coolest name in the biz. Oh, we can probably put it on the seat, too.
I was going to say, do you want to pull it
Yeah,
out?
open it up. This is the Turkish velvet, performance velvet, which means it's durable, it doesn't scratch, the wrinkles come out, which is what you want in this world. Let's try and make it smooth. Oh wait, what are we doing here?
Well, it's not going to go. Let's flip this part.
Well, it won't go on the back.
It's
Oh,
not
I
big
see,
enough.
I see.
So what if we
Actually,
bring
it is.
this one over?
Here.
Is it?
Yep.
All right.
Here, grab that. Bear with us, you guys. We're trying
We're
to
setting
do
the
a
scene.
visual. So this is the fabric that will cover the front seat and sides. We can probably tuck a little, these guys up a little bit. And then, I bet we could wrap this right around.
Yep.
Go all the way to that side. This is the fabric. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this wraps around.
Oh, no.
It doesn't go all the
make
way
the whole
around.
way. That's all right. Just
Which
set it on
side
that
is?
side.
Your side is.
My side's
more visible.
More visible. Here we go. It's going to come around
So
the
the
front.
stripe fabric will go on the back, but the back wraps around to the front, showing the wood there on the front.
It's our handiwork. Last time we were with you, this is, no, 2 times ago.
Yeah, 2 times ago.
So
we
we
did
have
the paint, which is
painting on the
enamel
wood.
spray paint. We cleaned the wood with denatured alcohol, completely removed the finish that was on top of it, all the way down to the bare wood without having to sand a lick of it. And then we spray painted it with gold enamel spray paint. And then what did we do? Do you
And
remember?
then we did the ink, which I can't remember what the ink is called.
It's black calligraphy ink by Speedball Ink. We used that to patina the gold so that it would look old.
Extra fancy.
I don't like to, what do they call it, distress things. I'm not great at distressing things, so I antique them instead, and that's just by adding color to it. Sometimes I'll do this with the Lisa Frank chair was like pink with like purple in the
Gotcha.
grooves. So today we are going to, let's take this off so we can see what's going on. Apply this foam, of course, to the back, but first we have to put the fabric layer here on the front. So we get to get started with fabric right away.
Fabric. Sweet.
So, do you remember? Of course you remember. What do we do?
We measure all the way back down to
Yep,
where
to
it
the
needs
frame.
to pull through to the frame.
Right,
And then down probably past this lowest portion so we have enough to come down
yeah,
and cover.
we're looking for the longest point on the frame here.
Right.
Which is right here. There's these humps that go down. The fabric's going to get stapled right up to the frame. It's going to measure from here all the way back, and it's going to get attached to the frame in the back. But you need to add additional inches so that your hands
So we can
pull
pull
it.
in the back.
Right.
Yep.
So I like to add 2 additional inches to my measurement on either side so that I can hold on to it. You might need more, you might need less. I have carpal tunnel, so I have a really hard time holding on to things, so I gotta be able to grab them like this.
Yeah.
So I would add 4 additional inches, both on the depth of the seat and the length of the seat. One thing we want to check for sure, how long is the seat? Because we are limited to 54 inches
Ooh,
with the
gotcha.
width of our fabric. I think we can measure our fabric too, to be sure. But we want to make sure, I don't want a seam in the middle of this. And our fabric can't really be railroaded.
Oh, no?
No, but I don't think that this is 54 inches.
All right.
So what we can do if we don't have the length
is add on pull-through fabric.
Yes.
That was a skill I learned this past week.
yeah.
Yeah, when you don't quite have enough, just add another section that's not going to show anyway. It just gives you enough to be able to pull through.
And it can be any fabric you want. Like,
Yep.
well, it's got to be durable fabric.
Right.
We probably will use a little bit of the same fabric because we'll have cutoffs from it. So we
Right.
can just use a little bit of the same. But sometimes in order to conserve your really nice fancy fabric and to make sure you have enough for your whole project, you will omit the parts that are hidden by your foam that go into the seam, and you'll just sew another chunk of fabric on top of that, which is why sometimes when you take apart furniture, you can see multiple fabrics. It's not all
And you're
because
like,
everybody used multiple,
Why
like
is
they
that other... Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's because they are reupholstered over old fabric, but a lot of times it's because they've sewn it onto the good fabric so they don't have to use the good fabric to staple it in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to do. Lisa is going to measure this settee, and then we're going to go to the cutting table and we're going to cut out the velvet. We're going to learn about velvet nap. We're going to learn about railroading. We're going to learn about a lot of stuff. I'm going to back these up so you guys can see what she's doing.
So today, Kim's the camera girl. So if Sativa's here with us today, I know she was on TikTok last week.
Yep, and you guys can put, I'm actually going to flip these cameras around so I can read comments at the same time. And you guys don't have to look at my face. You can look at beautiful Lisa measuring her settee. We're going to do the same thing with this guy. Good morning. I am going to answer all of your questions. Just give me a second to get everybody in the loop here. We've got 3 phones going today. We've got my TikTok.
It's a triple threat.
It's a triple threat. We've got my TikTok and we've got, oh, I can't see. Oh, there we go. I had to move my hair into the flippy part so I could see the icon. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram, and Lisa is on Instagram today.
Yep.
So you can see what's going on from all 3 places. I am going to be moving these phones around so that you can see close up of our hands at work, so you know exactly what's going on as we do it. What do we got? What's our measurements? Write it on the board.
Well, I do want to point one thing out, is on the edge, this is going to be hard to see, on the edge, on the sides, it has a similar kind of edge like this.
Yeah.
So when you're measuring, you have to measure down to that,
Yes.
plus your couple inches.
But what I will say is that this fabric on the sides and back is going to get stapled to the top of the frame, not to the side of the frame. Because we have our side panels that go on the side, and we don't want to build up the material because the depth of that carved wood right there is not super deep. So the more layers of material you stack up here, the more likely it is to stack up above this edge. And we don't want to do that because it won't look clean when we put our trim on there.
Right.
So when it comes to the back and sides, the material is just going to staple to the top of the frame, but it's a safe bet for you to measure down to that. I mean, I don't even think you would have to add too many inches because that looks like it's a couple inches already. This looks good on this side.
Is that good on that side?
Yep.
So we're at like 62 inches, 61 inches.
So let's now measure the depth from where we know the seam is going to be hidden. So just to the very top of the frame. There we go.
It's hard. We're going to need a trim on this side.
Yeah.
56 exactly.
56, exactly. Okay, so we do have a couple of inches on each side, so if we needed to take the entire width of the fabric and then add pull-throughs on the outsides. We won't need them on the back.
No.
Because we have the whole back.
Let's see. It's always a search for the
dry erase
dry
marker.
erase marker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you find it?
No.
All right.
Here's one.
Well, luckily we'll remember the width. So Lisa is writing that down. Oh, we can still all see it except for this one here.
Yeah, and then depth.
What do I do if the chair I'm doing has buttons on the seat? When I reupholster, do I omit the buttons or do I add them after? So you can reupholster it any way you freaking want to.
That's right.
What I will say is that if the seat is going into a home that has children and pets, I don't really like to put dust buckets on it because those buttons become little buckets for all the crumbs and dirt and hair and everything that you have in your home. So I am not a fan of buttons on seats. We will not be putting a button on this seat, but you may still be a fan of buttons on seat. You can replace the buttons pretty easily. I'm just going through the comment sections now, guys.
Right.
We're going to start with Lisa's. Sarah says, good morning, watching you do the fun stuff while I do the dishes. That green is gorgeous, she said. Going back up through my TikTok. I don't see any questions yet. If you guys are here and you're learning anything today, all that we ask is that you tap the screen as violently as possible whenever we remind you to give us the likes, because the likes, while they don't pay us, they drive traffic to our pages. They drive them to our TikTok, they drive them to our Instagram, they drive them to our website. That's how people find me and learn that I teach upholstery workshops. That's how Lisa's clients find her and learn that she does upholstery for a living so that she can get paid to do this. So when you guys are tapping on the screen, you're single-handedly saving the upholstery industry, I promise.
Right. All right, so I've got it.
You've got it.
62 wide, 40 deep.
62 wide.
And I came down to this lowest point, just so I want to point that out. So it's about 38 here where we would be at the lowest point to attach the fabric, so I added
2 inches so you can hold on to it. Okay, so now we got to go to the cutting table. So let's get that cleared off. I'll move the cameras. Don't you worry about it. I got it under control.
It's so fun.
So if you are watching from TikTok and Instagram today, we are going to be moving the cameras around so that they're catching all the different angles. So you'll have some close-up angles on some channels, some angles where you can see both of us in it.
I'm gonna turn it this way.
I just bought an online workshop for next Monday, my first one.
Yay!
Will I be getting an email? Yes, if you didn't get an email already, I'll double check and make sure that my automatic notifications are on. But what happens is the morning of the class, you get email with the Zoom link in it, and then you join me on the Zoom at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we start walking through your project. If you've never taken a class with me before, I teach in-person upholstery workshops here at my local makerspace, MakerWorks, which is an incredible resource for the community. Lots of places have them, so you can Google makerspace near me and see if you have them. I don't have my own shop. I work out of this makerspace. I pay a monthly fee to access the space, access their tools. It's like having a gym membership, but for tools. It's incredible, especially wood shop. I will ask you, my love,
yes,
to do your measurements from up here.
I'm just measuring the width.
Oh, to just
so we kind of know. It's like a little over 57. Or no, 54.
Where's the fabric measuring tape? Because that's got 60 inches on it.
Oh.
So that'll help. I'm going to grab my T-square out of the car.
Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna start. So if you'll notice on the edge of the fabric, and then for you guys over here, if you're familiar with fabric, there's always a selvage edge, which is the finished edge when they make it, but that is not fabric that we actually use for upholstering. So you measure from when the actual fabric begins.
Right. So that's 50.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. You know. You're still figuring it out.
54 and a half.
54 and a half inches.
Yep.
All right. So then we will just, and what is it supposed to be? 62?
62.
So you're going to lose an inch. So that's 53 and a half inches.
Right.
Because in our seam allowance.
Mm-hmm.
So 62 is 9 inches. Mm-hmm. I would just add 10. Like
10.
5 inches.
5 inches on each end.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
let's get this length first.
Okay.
We'll do just the length of this is fine, and then we'll measure the seat depth, which you had at 40 inches.
Yep.
So I don't know if this edge is squared or not.
All right.
But one thing that you can do that I like to do, I use this flat part to smooth out my fabric first.
Gotcha.
See how it's wrinkled there on the edge?
Yep.
We want the fabric to be as flat as can be. No scissors underneath, no ink pens underneath. No nothing. Now I'm going to show you guys about the nap. Yeah, we're going to use a Sharpie to do this.
Okay. I just want to check first.
It only takes 4 weeks to get this fabric. If we ruin it, no big deal. No, I'm confident we can use it.
It'll be fine.
We're also on the back side of it.
Right.
I usually on velvet I like to mark the front side of it so that I know where the nap is, but because this is only going to go one direction or the other, like
We're just
using
gonna
the width,
do it.
we'll check the nap when we flip it over.
Okay.
So let's check. I'm going to use the T-square to align this edge on the side here so that that's straight, just so I can see what happens here.
Yeah.
So we want a line to start from. We don't have to cut this line though, Lisa,
Gotcha.
because this is, we're just going to cut off the excess fabric anyway, so we don't need to do double the work. But we do want to square off this side, and I do that by aligning the T-square edge with the salvage edge, which is the straightest factory edge that I can think of, and then
It's not on it over here.
drawing it straight across.
There we go.
And then I also am looking for this line.
To try and get them
Yeah.
all coordinated with each other.
So now you can take your measurements from this line up. I would use this, one on this side, one in the middle, and one here, and then we can connect the dots. You got it? So, as I was explaining, I teach, someone says the green is chef's kiss. Could you use it on the side that needs extra fabric? So we're actually going to add a little bit of fabric to both sides so that that seam is hidden on both sides, and we can center the fabric to make sure that it's evenly distributed across the surface of the seam. Good morning. I've been enjoying your live projects every Tuesday morning, and thank you so much for joining us. It really does help to get the word about what it is that we're doing. We usually average about 25,000 likes during these times. We love to get past 100. We've done that a couple times.
That'd be fun.
So if you guys could really help us out, that would be super duper sweet. This is weird. Oh, look at that.
Oh, did you
Alright.
find a new?
Yeah, I found a trick.
Nice.
Thank you for doing these live streams. I wish I had your talent. You know what? All it takes is practice.
That's
You
right.
just gotta start it.
You gotta start someplace. I'm just gonna bring this
start
in the
and you
middle.
just keep doing it over and over and over again. And
Yeah.
every time you do it, you get a little bit better than the last time. You need scissors?
I got scissors. I grabbed some. Oh, where's my tool belt, Kim?
I don't know, man.
Through there.
Don't know, man. Oh, you do that.
I'm making myself a tool belt because this is what I do. I walk around. Where's my scissors? Where's my
I heard
Sharpie?
that those might be available at
I think we're gonna make that happen.
I'm really glad that you guys join these because we're really trying as hard as we can to teach as many people how to stop. See how this is just a little wrinkly? Not a reliable measurement, and I can tell you that it's wrinkly because you're supporting the weight of this fabric. I know we don't want to get it dirty, and the shop floor is not super
Maybe you
clean.
throw it up on the.
You know what? I'll hold
Or you're
it.
just gonna hold it.
Yeah. This
That
should be on a
also
roll.
works. It should be on a roll, which would make life a little bit
It
easier.
can fold it.
When you buy from, where did it come from?
Turkey.
Turkey.
But I didn't, well, actually I did know because I think it's from the same place I got my Cali green velvet from it. I did a little green sheer with.
Oh gosh.
Great velvet, by the way. And you can tell, it doesn't look like fancy velvet. It doesn't look like cheap velvet. It looks thick. Like it's a really high tuft. And if you scratch it, it's not permanent. You can steam it, I think. We're going to try it.
We're gonna try it with a scrap.
Yeah, with a piece of scrap.
Okay.
Okay,
Here we go.
cut her up.
So, Kim, question.
Yes.
On the far side of the settee, which we can't see right now, this little area here, there's the foam comes out past. So do we need to trim that?
Yep, anything that comes outside of the frame, we're going to trim off because we don't want to see that poking out when we go to put the outside panel on. What I'm nervous about is getting those stripes straight. Because
I know. You know who we need here for that?
your husband.
Yes.
Alan, he's good.
He's great with
Engineering.
stripes.
Well, luckily
It's okay. I can do it too.
A little bit of pulling will help.
Yep.
I'm super stoked you're local-ish. I want to start doing regular classes. I really hope that you do.
Yes.
I teach my regular in-person classes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which gives you 4 consecutive days to work out a project to make sure you finish it up.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope you can. Let me see if you can look back here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see
You
it.
can see. So there's places where we've like moved the velvet around, and you can see there's like kind of lines in it and stuff like that. But watch, you just go like this, and it smooths out. That's why we want this high performance velvet, because you're. Oh, see, I scuffed it, smoothed it. So it's a nice material to work with.
Yeah, so velvet grows in a nap. They don't grow velvet, they weave it, but velvet comes in a nap. And when you put it on furniture, when you sit down on a couch, you're sitting down, and they can see you, so you have to demonstrate too.
Oh.
You sit down like this. So it wipes the fabric on the back of the couch down, and then when you get off the couch, you slide forward.
Yeah.
So it wipes the fabric forward.
So you want to go.
So you want the nap to wipe down when you put on the furniture. Otherwise, if you're wiping up, you're going to do that all the time, and it's going to ruin it. Like, you know how cowlick on your hair?
Well, it's like flannel jammies and flannel sheets.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo. So we want it to go on the furniture so that it wipes down like this. So we know is going to be the back of the seat, and this is going to be the front of the seat. So I want you to mark the back of this fabric, back, and then front, maybe all along that top edge,
You want that
because you
along
know
the
which
edge.
part's going to be visible to you. Just put a few up there, and a few along the bottom edge. And the next thing I want you to do is mark the center by folding it in half. I mean, you can mark a center with a line, but if you mark the center with a little notch like Lisa's about to show you, it's way more visible when you're putting it on the.
So, do you want me to trim this off?
No, that's fine.
Does it
It's
matter?
Fine. Nope, it doesn't. We're cutting off all the excess anyways, so if you trim it off now, you're trimming that twice, and that's not necessary. Save time.
All right.
Save time, save
Nice.
money.
All right. So here's a notch.
Yep, show these guys. You
Here's
might
a
have to put
notch.
your hand behind it so you can see.
There you go. So you can see it.
So you're going to mark
So
the
that's
center
the
in
center.
the back there and in the front, because you got to center it on both sides. Then we're going to take it to the seat.
To the seat.
So we're, oh wait, I think I wanted to,
Do we need
I
to
want to
add?
glue the foam on before we do this, because I don't want to get glue on the fabric.
Oh,
We'll
the
put
side and the
batting-
back?
Yeah, we'll put the batting on after.
Okay.
But we have to figure out the foam first.
Okay.
So we can do that.
Pause.
We'll do the back first. So that's fun. You guys get to watch. The next step after she marks the center is we're going to take all this over to the settee, and she's going to start gluing the foam on the back and sides. We're doing that because we don't want to apply glue after we have fabric on there, because although it is highly controllable, anything can go wrong, and we don't want to risk it. It would just be dumb to do that.
It's kind of like Spider-Man webbing, so.
Yeah, it comes out very visibly. They even have the stuff that I used to get came in a gallon,
Oh.
and I put it in a spray gun, and it was red, so you could see
you
it.
could see where
as
it was.
goes out.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, wouldn't have been great for something like that.
No, that wouldn't have been
Because
nice.
you can see through
Right.
it.
So
Okay,
we
you
wanna
ready? I'll
move?
take the cameras. You go.
Oh,
I'm
all
a
right.
camera girl today. I got this.
Okay.
So you can check it, make sure. Oh, we still gotta sew stuff to the sides of it, so it's in case.
Yes, we do need to do that.
So go ahead and start laying out. They can see you back here a little bit. Turn this to you until I can get to it. If you guys are here and you're learning anything, all I ask is that you're tapping that screen. I saw somebody, do you see that TikTok that posted?
Yes.
Do you guys have those little
I have a Theragun.
hammer massagers?
Yeah.
Take that and put it on your finger. It will like super tap the screen.
It will. I thought that was the funny.
You know, I made $4 on that one class. We had like 46,000 people. That's like a lot. $4 is a lot.
Alright, so we're making sure that our little notch is going to be right here in the center of the leg.
Yep.
And then make sure I have it pulled forward enough so that we've got
That looks
extra.
long enough.
You
I
think this
wonder-
is going to be
Well, tuck that side and see if it'll touch the top of the thing. Yeah, man.
Do you think it's gonna make it?
I think it's gonna make it. I don't think we need to sew anything on it. As long as we got this centered, you're gonna get the same amount of material on both sides.
Right.
So, next step is spread this out first. Make sure it's on properly. Looks like it's wiping down. We want to go.
Do we want to trim
Yeah.
this?
Not yet. We can trim everything after this comes through. We want to take this and go steam it.
Oh, all right.
So go turn the iron on in the back, and I'm
Gotcha.
gonna come through with these phones. I just gotta open a pack so I can carry them all at the same time. Okay, we're going on a little tour of this maker space, you guys. We're going
I'm
to.
gonna grab
You
the
can grab
fabric.
that phone too. So we're going to the textiles area of Makerworks. They've got laser cutters.
So just a little.
Got a couple of them. If it can be made, it can be made at Makerworks.
Got it.
So we're going to use the textiles area
Vinyl.
to steam this fabric. I think if we use a little bit of the corner,
You want me to get a piece just to test on so that we aren't.
I think we can use a corner of that piece that we know is going to be in the back. We have plenty of material that goes in the back.
And then we're in the sewing area so that we can get to
Yep, and I'm going to move your
the iron.
iron this way so you can Martha Stewart this
Oh.
for everyone.
Nice.
No pressure.
It's all right. I got this. I iron a lot. And I know people think that's crazy, but I actually do.
So this has got water in it. I do want it on steam mode. You cannot iron velvet. Let me just preface this right now. Do not take an iron to your velvet. This is performance velvet, and this is how it is supposed to perform. We don't know that it is going to perform in the way that we want it to.
We're checking the
But
validity
we're
of that
checking.
statement.
So I have it on linen and cotton
Okay.
because that's the only setting that will do the steam function, but I'm going to put it on the lowest setting of the steam
It
function.
doesn't wool. Mine has wool that's lower. It's the lowest.
It just says linen. Oh, wool is lower, but it doesn't,
It doesn't
do
steam?
steam.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
at wool, on the wool setting. So you want to know back to front because when you're ironing it, you're ironing the nap down,
Got you.
and you're going to do a
And I'm
little
ironing.
bit at a time.
Okay.
But we're just gonna start here. So I'm going to wrinkle it.
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose.
Gotcha.
Because this part is hidden, it's gonna get tucked in and cut. I'm not worried about
Ooh,
it.
that's
Yeah, that's a good wrinkle.
good wrinkle.
That's gonna tell us what's going on. I don't know how long this takes to go, but I don't think it's ready yet. It's hot. Touch it with your hand. Smart.
Isn't that what grandmas used to do? They like lick your finger?
Yep.
Is the steam turned on? Isn't that the black
Oh.
button there? Turn it, there you go.
Thanks, my pants.
No
Alright,
problem.
so now I'm going to, I know this is the back, to wipe the nap down. I'm gonna come forward,
Okay.
and I'm just doing a little bit here.
And we're on the back of the fabric.
Oh yeah, back of the fabric, and you could really double down and put a protective fabric on here, but who cares?
We're Wild Wild West, right?
So that is encouraging.
Nice.
So the wrinkles came out, and the nap is not flattened or melted on the other side. That's what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
I am going to have you use this.
That, okay.
Yeah, why?
Why risk it?
It doesn't. So this isn't actually dirty. This is all built up starch. Even though it's kind of stiff, I know it looks weird, but it's fine. It's fine. So you can just.
So,
I don't know what that silver tape says.
yeah, I
Probably
feel like
don't iron over top of it.
would be nice to have some new material in this area.
Yeah, you should get some. Hey, Ella. So let's
Shoot,
see.
I just had a question I
That
was
looks
gonna ask
great.
you. That does look good.
Okay, so you're up. I'm gonna go get you some more water because I think it's running out of water.
Alrighty.
Oh, There's more water
There's
right
more
here.
water. Oh, perfect.
Also,
Sorry,
sometimes
back to
water
you.
can ruin your velvet too, so don't get it wet. But this is performance velvet. This is a polyester velvet. It's not a cotton velvet or a wool velvet. It's
Yeah, Sarah, squaring up fabric.
synthetic.
It's just one of those things you kind of have to do.
Okay, you're up, girl.
All right, here we go.
Let me get out of here. And then if you guys have questions
Close
while I
door.
do this, you can go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'm gonna circle through all these phones.
Oh, my question. Do you press hard with your iron, or do you just run the iron over?
So this iron right here is made for sewing, and it's really heavy.
It's a roll-in.
So you don't have to press down at all. You just use the weight of the iron. But sometimes if your iron is lightweight, like a cheap $20 iron from Walmart, you're gonna
Right.
want to do that. But I wouldn't suggest on a
On the velvet. you
on the
don't wanna
velvet.
smush.
You don't want to push that down.
And do we want to go all the way across the width, or
Yep.
should I go the length and then come back and do the
I would do the
width
width so that you're doing everything
at the same time?
at the same time.
Gotcha.
If you guys are here, you're learning anything, just tap on the screen as violently as possible. Tap, 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 tap. If you're on TikTok, up in the upper left-hand corner, a little pink heart will show up, and it's a meter. And if you keep tapping until the meter explodes, it's going to throw you a party, and everybody loves parties. So that's what we want to do. How's it looking over there?
It looks good. I'm just checking underneath before I move.
So make sure you're going down towards you. Yep, you're
Oh.
wiping it
Gotcha.
because of the nap. Because it will lift the nap from the top to do that. And if you iron the nap down,
That's no bueno.
no bueno. So Lisa here has been working with me for over a year now. I just found your first chair picture today. I'm gonna post it in the group.
You did?
Yeah, I think you
My
need more
gray
on
one?
that left-hand side. There's some wrinkles towards the top there. I think you thought maybe I did that whole corner, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really cute. But she's been taking classes with me for a year. And when did you guys start your business officially?
In summer, June.
Summer, June. So last year.
Yes.
So next month you'll have been in business.
A whole
whole
year.
year.
Let's throw an anniversary party on it.
And so you've already started taking clients, and now I have pulled you on my team so that I can start sending clients your way. And that's what we're trying to do. So after I closed my business, I decided I was going to train as many people how to do this as possible because I didn't have anybody to help. And I wanted to make sure that I could go back and do this again one day. And today's that day. Actually, last week was that day. We started that last week. So I pulled on 4 of my students and 2 other skilled tradespeople to start taking on clients with me for custom furniture, custom fabrications, and this is a system and a program that we're going to start offering to people all over the United States, where you can become a part of my mercantile network, and then I can get clients for you too, because this trade is in high demand for projects right now and in low supply of skilled tradespeople. So we want to train as many people as we can. The pathway to entry in my classes is always free. You can take in-person classes for free for your first class. You can take virtual classes for free for your first class. I just want to get you learning. If you start, I know you're going to stick with it because it's a lot of fun. And it's a great community, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So I'm so happy that this fabric is ironing.
Yeah, and
Because
I
I
will
left
say,
it literally in a pile.
I had a little bit of a
Oh boy, this looks
Heart
like
failure.
danger back here.
We're live on TikTok and Instagram through both Lisa's page and my page. We do Tutorial Tuesday every Tuesday, and people learn how to do whatever project it is that we're working on at the time. So right now we're preparing our fabric for that settee that is set up in the conference room, and we're gonna do some deep button tufting
That's
today.
gonna be a nice item.
Yeah. What are you working on today, Jesus?
We installed that.
So you did? You installed it already?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll send you
Oh, I
a
gotta
picture.
see pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous. What are you working on today?
I'm working on a sketch of a Buddha.
Oh, cool. That's
Having
fun.
done an unconventional choice.
Just hitting up all the religions.
Yeah, I can be unconventional in any faith at all, God damn it.
I love your enthusiasm, Mike. Mike is a professional wood carver, and he just did like a life-size crucifix for a local Catholic church.
Cool.
He did the Jesus, and then Al, who works here, did the cross.
The cross.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful
I do
work.
want to point out, when I'm steaming this, there's a moment where I have a slight little hitch of heart attack. But it's just the steam like changes the color a tiny bit, and then as soon as it
dries.
dissipates,
Yeah.
it goes away.
Yeah.
So if you notice that while I'm steaming,
So that's another really good point to make, because some fabrics, when you iron them, change color and they don't change back.
right. Or some fabrics shrink.
Yeah. Sarah said she needs more help squaring up fabric. She always ends up crooked. Is that, or you already answered that
I
question?
did. It's just
Yeah,
that-
when you're doing wrap and staple though, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if it's slight polygon. The only time it matters is when you're doing a box cushion.
Yeah.
Pull that forward just a little bit. You got some wrinkles still on this. There you go, right there. See that wrinkle
Yep.
right there?
Who knew
That's looking
ironing was a
good.
2-person process?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into this stuff.
Right.
So as soon as Lisa gets this steamed out, we'll take it back to the seat. We're gonna make the cuts. Are you nervous about the cuts? You can't be.
Me?
Yeah. No, not on this seat. This one's an easy one.
No, this is not a bad one at all. I don't want to say the word easy, just because that's tempting fate.
Now this is something that you can steam after too. So like after
like a
it's
hand
on the
steamer?
piece, you can hand steam it. You don't want the metal to touch the front because that could melt it. Tippy Toe says, I forgot it was Tuesday because of the holiday. We don't observe holidays.
That's right. It's not like the trash collection. It doesn't get delayed by a day.
No, we gotta get paid
It's
either
still
way.
Tuesday.
It's still Tuesday. I'm really glad that you guys are here. We got a good handful of you here today. We're already up to 8.5 thousand likes, and it's not even 11 o'clock yet. So I am enthusiastic about your enthusiasm.
For real.
Today's going to be an exciting day. If you're just joining, we're doing deep button tufting today. And right now, Lisa's getting the fabric prepared for the seat, and then we're going to move from here and go put that on the seat. Then we're going to apply the rest of the foam. And then we're going to, we're going to apply the foam before we put the seat on. Yeah. Apply the foam, then put the seat on, and then cut the holes in the back of the seat. So you're going to measure for the first time. You're going to measure your holes for your deep button tufts.
Yep, I'm excited.
And then we're going to cut them with, I have a fun drill bit that's going to cut right through. And then we're going to put batting on it. I want to put poly batting and cotton batting on it, so it's going to be nice and floofy.
Oh yeah, well we did that on the seat already.
And then we talked about the deep button tufting being,
just the
string.
stitch
yeah.
instead of an actual
No, I
button.
didn't bring any embroidery floss.
Ooh.
So, but I was thinking that I might need button twine. And if we can just make that little stitch as small as possible, I can go back over it with embroidery thread,
Oh, okay.
like as a top.
As
thing.
just to cover.
We may also decide we want to do buttons. I
possible.
have a bunch of small buttons. Like I have a ton
That
of
might
little
be-
tiny buttons. Yeah.
I love buttons.
I love buttons too, but I really love.
There's a lot going on in this piece though, so let's not be the let's do everything.
One of my students brought an ottoman to class that she bought on Facebook Marketplace that had just been reupholstered by someone else. It was done beautifully too, by the way. But she was like, oh, this looks easy enough, and then just bought it and took it apart. But the tufting was done with just little X's of twine in it. You couldn't see the tufting from the top.
Alright.
I mean, you couldn't see the buttons. You could
Double
just
check
see
me.
the little puckers. That looks good.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're good. All right, time to move back to the classroom. So we're walking through this maker space, and we're going to the conference room, which is an all-purpose classroom.
This fabric without wrinkling it.
It's an all-purpose classroom that anyone can use to work on their projects, to teach classes. I teach my classes from here, and I work on my projects from here. On my client projects. I don't have a garage, and I can't fit this operation into my home. So I work at my local makerspace. Top tier membership here, which is all access to the shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is like $210 a month. And so that's like kind of having my own 14,000 square foot shop with CNC routers and plasma cutters and table saws and everything you can think of. We'll give you guys a little bit of a tour later on. Regan says, I see my cushions. They're in there. They're in there. I still have to clean up that wood piece and get that off to the client.
I'm gonna lay this out so it doesn't.
I truly never knew about this for couches. Thank you. You're welcome. We're good. You can really reupholster anything any way you want. You might be limited to what your frame allows, but there's a lot you can do that maybe wasn't what it looked like when you took it apart. Let me see. Oop, I don't know what that is.
Hey Jenny. Chanel, how are you?
Hi friends. I have a couch that me and my late husband bought together. Thank you for helping me understand that I can repair it versus throwing it out to fix the problems with it. Yeah, you will not find a frame, a modern frame, that will hold up more than like 3 to 5 years. So it's best to redo it if you've got a good old solid frame.
So back cushion on?
Yes, and we might. Can you reach it? You're taller than me. Can you reach it okay?
I think so.
All right. So
We'll see how it goes.
Let's get these close because I want to show you where we're lining it up with. I'm going to put one tall in the back. This one can stay in the front here to see you. So if you're watching on my TikTok, you can also watch from my Instagram. On my Instagram phone, I'm going to be hovering over the top of this so you can see what's going on where Lisa's hands are. This is what I mean when we're doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stop giving direction and then just do the thing and then give direction again. So we're going to use contact adhesive to glue this on. But you want to start it, hold down, we need a gap. We need this gap.
Yeah.
We need, where you can see those staples, that's the gap. It's like a 1/4 inch and it's got to be even all the way across. So you're going to line it up at that point.
And it's gonna get
After it's
stapled
glued.
like this, like we did with the other.
Well, right now
Down
we're going to
front.
just glue it.
We're just gluing it.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
right now we're just going to glue it. So we're going to put glue on the back surface here.
Mhm.
And then
And
glue
here,
here.
yep.
Then we're going to line it up at that edge all the way across the top before we push down.
Okay.
And then we're going to push down like this. And we're going to move the edge of that to the seat like this before we do anything. So that the whole back of this comes into contact with the back.
Mhm.
And I would say let's use this straight edge at the top. That's the factory edge. See
Oh,
how
is
this is cut only a little, like it's only
Yeah,
a little, but this is a nice straight edge and that is a nice straight edge. So there should be a little lip like this that sits on top of here. So when you glue it, don't glue all the way down to the bottom.
Gotcha.
Although if the glue touches this, it won't stick because there's no glue on here. So we want to leave that little lip. That's going to get tucked in between the cushions. After we do this, we might have to make some cuts. So before we tuck it, we want to make cuts so we can see it better.
All right. So factory edge.
Factory edge, yep. So I think you can set it like this.
And spray and spray.
Spray and spray.
Gotcha.
And don't spray, you can spray to the bottom of this, and you can come where I'm at.
Mhm.
You can spray to the bottom of this, but don't spray, like I would leave 2 inches at the bottom of
Okay.
the foam. We want to glue this down before we put fabric on because we don't want to get glue on the fabric. That's just the bonehead move. But I've done it. If you get fabric on and are like, oh shit, I forgot to put the foam on, it's fine. You'll be fine. So what Lisa's using right now is called contact cement. Contact cement only sticks to itself. This is available on my website, so this is something you can order on my website. They do have it at Home Depot and Lowe's too. You want to get the highest strength that they have, and that is not Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue is garbage. Don't use Gorilla Glue.
Also, I will say I have the Home Depot. I had to buy it from Home Depot because I needed it. This is my favorite.
So the Home Depot one is great for like holding things lightly, like holding foam to the frame, but it doesn't fuse foam together. So this spray that you're using specifically is designed to fuse foam together. because upholsterers don't like to waste material. So when we can fuse two pieces of foam together, we will fuse two pieces of foam together. Can't see anything here. So we sprayed both sides because the stuff only sticks to itself. We're gonna let it dry a minute to make sure there's no wet spots, and then we're gonna stick it to the thing. Do you need to bring it down so you can see that edge to line it up there?
Oh,
The couch. That's what I'm wondering.
yeah, we might.
So might as well, because then you can reach it better, you can see it better, and you're more likely to get a better result that way. So let's move these. Hold on. Let me get them. We're just going to put it right on the floor in front of.
Where we are.
Yeah. So this is.
Sorry, guys.
This button will allow it to tip down. But this does gotta get tightened. Just one spin. Should be good. Okay. So now, when it touches, when the glue is ready, it should be tacky. So you touch it with your fingers, and it should stick to it. If it feels like a puddle, it's too wet.
Yeah, it's still wet.
So at this, for this type of adhesion, you don't need to toss on a ton of glue. Just like a light spray and coverage from everything, it'll dry fast. And then once you touch the glue, everything sticks to your finger after that.
Yes, it's sticky fingers for the rest of the
I
day.
think this feels good. So is it pulling off stringy when I touched it?
It was still kind of wet down there. Oh, it's good. All right.
Okay, so I would start in the center. Also make sure that the sides are lined up. You don't want it to be, it's cut exactly to fit it. So it should go edge to edge here. I'm lining up this whole sharp edge.
The top.
Don't push down yet, because I want to move your camera over there too, so your people can see it too.
Okay.
So you're checking. You can measure it if you need to. I trust your eyeballs.
Okay.
I feel
I'm
like
feeling pretty good about that.
I feel like you can do this. All right.
Ready?
Ready. So start in the middle, and we're pushing down. We want this lip to stay, and you can even push it further back so that it, grips back there a little bit better. Looking good. So the reason why we go from the center out,
so that we don't end up with crookedness, or so it stays even.
Yes.
And because once you press it down, it's down. So you need to go. It's like like film on a mirror or something like that. You want to smooth it the whole way out.
So we want to spread the material across the surface of the back of the sofa evenly. And we want to evenly distribute it. So we want to push from the center out so we can make sure it stays straight, so we can make sure that it sticks to the back. Because if we started here and went this way, the material has a tendency to twist. And then by the time we get to the other end, it might be crooked. And unfortunately for you, this glue is permanent. So if it sticks, it's stuck. I can pick the whole sofa up from this piece of foam. So now we have to tuck the foam back. But before we tuck the foam back, we need to be aware of where our barriers are, because this foam is not going to tuck through. There's pieces of wood at the edges here, and I think there's one in the center if I'm correct.
Let me check. No, there's just the corner piece, and then there's a center piece.
But does
in
it
the
go?
middle.
Does it go all,
It goes all the way
bottom?
down. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
Only
need
the
to make a
center.
relief cut in the center, and I think these corners are probably far
They're-
enough in. I think you're
I think
only
they'll be
going to need
fine.
to make one here,
Yeah.
but it does have to be a Y cut. So you have to put your hands in here, feel for that center piece. Actually, it doesn't have to be a Y cut. It's far enough. It's all the way to the back. This won't even reach there.
No.
So find that center piece. Drag your hand out. So I use my middle finger because it's my longest one. It can reach better.
Yeah.
And then just cut straight back almost to that divot, but not all the way. That's that divot is basically the crease.
Okay.
But you can see there's really only like an inch or so here that you have to snip. It doesn't have to be a Y cut because the material is not even going to reach the frame back there.
Right, it's
So it
just to give
doesn't
it a
need to
little bit of-
relieve around the frame. It just needs to be relieved in front of it. So I think that the side corners are going to be fine. So after you make that snip, we're going to tuck it. And if you remember, we're tucking it from the end, just like you have to pull it out a little bit and tuck the end down
Yeah.
first. Don't try and cram it all in there at once. All right, I'm going to go through these comments, guys. If you're here and you're learning something, all I ask is that you tap on the screen as violently as possible while you're here. And send all the likes through and engage with this content so that when people see my stuff, they know what it is that I do for a living, which is teach upholstery and modify furniture. So those are services that we offer too. Checking.
This thick foam. Fun. All right.
Good stuff.
So then we're gonna tuck this under, right?
Yep, I would go, like I even start from the center here, and I lift it up, and then I'm just tucking it back. This just barely even goes down past the frame.
Right.
So this is a good fit. We really measured good.
We did a good job.
We don't want to block the hole that everything has to go into.
Right, because there's still a bunch more stuff that has to go through this.
Right, this can be a very frustrating phase for people because the hole that's back there is such a tiny little thing, and so much stuff has to fit through it.
All right.
That looks great.
Are
So
we-
now we got to do the sides. The sides go on the same. Remember, we custom cut the sides to fit.
Right, but we said we were gonna trim it, the
Yeah.
bottom.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. So first, we want to make sure it goes up to that
Same
mark.
way.
Same, like ½ inch. This is a little bit longer than it needs to be, I think.
You think?
But I won't know until we get it. So I think that will actually tuck
Tuck
back.
back. I
So
think
don't
so, too.
worry about it at first. Don't worry about this whole side. We're going to do it just like we did this.
Okay.
So we're going to glue it down, tuck that to here, tuck this to here, and then worry about whatever we need to trim out. First, we're going to see if we can get that to go back. Bare minimum, we're going to have to take a little bit off of this. I think this will go through that hole.
Okay.
But that's how it's got to get glued on. So really what we want to do is watch the shape of that first. And I
When we
think,
line it up along the edge.
yeah. And you can see why now we try not to put the batting on too soon. See how it's coming off on this foam
I
from all
know.
the friction?
It's just a little.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the state of the seat before we put the fabric on and see if we need to put, I think I want to put one more layer of cotton batting on it anyways. To make it more floofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like floofy.
I love flute.
So, Lisa is doing this sofa according to my design.
Not her own, but that's okay.
But you guys picked the fabric, so we had a ton of fabric
Thanks,
selections
everybody.
in the spring, and you really knocked Ramsay's off the list. But that's okay. We got a better time for her to do
That's
that
right.
on. I think though, did I tell you? I think I want to do that on a wingback. So I have 3 wingback frames.
I know.
And I have that fabric in 3 different
3 different
colors.
combos.
I think that would look cool.
It would look cool.
When we get the shop done, we'll just have those 3 on display. They'll look cool. But we'll see. I've got a lot of antique frames to use.
All right.
So remember that curve first. Looking good, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
Who belongs to that?
So this is one of my pieces from my collection.
Wow.
Lisa is a sponsored student, so she takes the classes and learns how to do everything for free in exchange for the lessons. But what I will say is Lisa is actually on my team now. She's been taking classes with me for over a year, and she has her own upholstery business now.
Wow.
So we're just teaming up for this project to get one of like the low-code designs
Out there.
out there and out of the storage unit.
Yeah. Where'd you come across this thing?
This was donated to me by someone who learned, like the first year I started doing classes here, like the first few months, someone who learned I was doing classes here and donated this to me. It was bright yellow plaid.
Oh, it was
very
beautiful.
It was very country girl.
It was.
This is we're using this green velvet on the front, on the seats in the back. We're gonna do some deep button tufting. Where's the stripey stuff?
Where is the stripe?
I don't know. It's like disappeared. And then we have this. Oh, it's right there, right behind you. That stripey stuff is gonna go on the back.
This is gonna go on the back, yeah,
That's the green right here.
yeah.
So, and the back wraps around to the front, so you'll see this. See how it goes right
Oh, yeah,
there?
yeah,
So you'll
yeah,
see it on the face too. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
It's gonna be super.
So, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did I do this wrong?
No, that looks fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna
With it
staple
butted up
into
to
it.
that?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
it's still gonna get stapled down into that
Because there won't be
edge.
trim that comes down there.
And
the
it's not,
fabric.
yeah, nothing is gonna get stapled to this side, everything is just gonna stop back here.
Back here?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, that looks good.
All right.
So now we gotta see how much of this, we might have to trim some off, but first we'll see how much we can shove back there. In the
Okay.
same way, you do have to make a cut here, from this corner to that, because you have a pull-through spot at the bottom and a pull-through spot at the side.
When do you think this thing was built?
Oh, I don't know. 'Cause so many of these, especially like the French provincial stuff, is like replica.
Right,
But I don't even have any way of telling. That's the thing. I'm not a furniture expert. I will take your stuff apart and paint it and put whatever
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care where it came from. But I don't. It does seem like it's solid wood. The whole thing is solid wood, so it's not modern. It could be from like 50s,
yeah.
40s, 50s, 60s.
Is this gonna be the finish?
Yes.
Yep.
Nice,
Yeah. This is a gold enamel paint underneath
yeah,
and black calligraphy ink on top.
wow.
To like patina it. Look at the front legs. That's like my favorite part. Down here,
Oh, yeah, that's really
it really
cool.
captured the detail a lot
It
in
really
the carvings.
does.
How does this make you feel that I did this to wood? To hand carved wood
As a woodworker.
as a woodworker. Does this burn your toast?
Well, I never paint wood,
Yeah.
but in furniture, I can see where you might want to.
Yeah.
All right,
So it
so
looks good?
It looks good, and that's what it's all
are we
about,
working
right?
toward all this going down in?
Yeah, so if that is buckling, it won't go in, then you were gonna pull it back out and you're gonna trim a little bit off. So that, pull the whole thing out.
Pull the whole
I would
thing
cut
out?
right up that whole side.
Oh, all right.
And just, I would take off like maybe an inch.
Really? Because this
off the
this
edge.
came all the way to the corner.
This,
Is that?
okay. So maybe from here, see this whole, you can kind of see this whole chunk.
Yeah, that whole.
This
Gotcha.
right there, I think, can
Alright.
come right off. So we have to get the foam on before she starts doing the seat because it takes glue and we don't want to
Wow,
get glue.
so many different materials.
Yeah, this has got, so she redid the springs. So there's jute webbing, then coil springs, and then foam on top. Well, there's a barrier fabric and then foam on top of that, and then cotton batting underneath
Right.
this poly batting. So it's really plushy. And that's the cotton batting up here.
Wow.
And we'll put another layer of this on the top of that. Okay.
Why do you,
Plush.
flush?
Yeah. So poly batting like this basically puts a layer of air in between the fabric and the foam. So if you were to put fabric just right on the foam, it looks really flat. Like not dynamic at all. It just like sticks to it, like static cling. But when you put a layer of poly batting on it, it puts like a layer of air in between it. So it makes it a little flat.
Yeah.
But the cotton batting makes it look very plush. Like really kind of rich. And I want this to look like Art Deco. Like
Oh,
when
yeah,
I'm
will.
done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Good job. So now that.
So now tuck
tucked
that.
through.
That looks like potentially that could get a trim.
I feel
too.
like it needs maybe an inch or.
Yeah, I
inch and a half
would. You're
off
not going to lose anything by cutting an inch off because
Okay.
you have enough to go
Just-
back there.
to not fill that so badly.
Yeah, we don't want to clog up the system for sure. Why does it keep making me do this?
Oh, you have to tell it. Is it the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it maybe do
Tell
that
it
a
like
bunch.
10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I
I have 2 wingback recliners that I want to reupholster, not for my first project, but eventually. And let me tell you what, wingbacks are one of the best things that you can learn on, because everything you learn on a wingback you can apply to any other project. And recliners are not as hard as they look. They actually come apart and you can upholster them in pieces, which makes them one of the easiest things to reupholster. But if you have to take the whole thing apart to get to it, that's another story. Putting them together is not the easiest thing to do.
Pictures.
This is the
the
Ramsays will be working on this recliner next, and that is simply take the back off. That's the only part that comes apart, and then everything else is wrap and staple. Kind of an easy job.
Proceed without caution, ladies.
Right. Thanks so much, Mike.
I'll see you next time.
Thanks for your input. It means a lot.
I didn't give any input. Don't blame me.
I like it. That's good feedback. I'll take it. That's confidence boosting. We did get 6 yards of this, which is an overkill, but I wanted to make sure we had enough. He sounds like such a nice man. Mike is the nicest freaking man you'll ever meet, and he's like a fantastic wood carver. He's like carves like coliseums and like church ceilings and stuff. Like he does a lot of church stuff actually. Love Makerworks. Naturally curious, helpful, informative bunch. Yes, they are. Or makers in general. Maybe is what you meant, but people here at Makerworks too, I would agree. That phone looks good.
It's coming together.
That looks so good.
Nice. Right side.
Right side. I'm gonna move everyone so they can see on this side.
Alright.
So same deal. Oh, you can even see. Was that one already cut? I don't think we cut the other one.
Oh, did we trim this one? It looks
think
like
we might
kinda
have.
did. Oh. Well, look at us. Smarties.
Past us was really looking out
Past
for future us.
was like, good thinking, girl.
We must have got started and ran out of time.
Probably.
That tracks. Nah, it still looks too long.
Huh?
It still looks too long.
It does look still too long.
Did you glue it already? Or are you just fitting it?
I'm just fitting it to make sure that looks okay.
Yeah, I definitely want to put another thing of cotton batting on the top.
Alright.
Which I don't think we need to tame with batting on top of that. And if you get it on the frame, don't worry about using a little bit of oil to take it off. We also didn't wax the frame yet, but we can do that after fabric is on. It's not that messy.
I didn't know I was going to be like climbing around on the floor today.
Yeah, I didn't think about it
It's
either.
okay.
But I think it is a better reach.
I wore my skirt just because last week was so warm in here.
We're going to have to get some knee pads.
Ah.
I'm pretty nervous about today. Pretty freaking nervous.
It's gonna be great. It's all gonna be fine.
I hope so. If you guys are just joining us, Lisa and I are reupholstering. Well, Lisa's doing all the work. I'm moving the cameras around. This antique settee that we've been working on for a few weeks now. Carly says, wow, great talent. Thanks, Carly. Lisa is incredible. She was a natural from her very first project. Kind of like me. I don't like not bragging about that, but creativity comes naturally to me. So reverse engineering a piece of furniture and putting it back together came easy. Although my first one didn't look super great. It took a lot of practice to get very good at it. But Lisa herself is naturally talented at this as well. Did you have sewing experience? What was?
Oh, I've sewn like my whole life.
Did you do anything else? Paint furniture? What?
No.
You just want to do your own.
I mean, a lot of like home improvement things, cutting molding, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just where it's kind of spatial awareness and just like a mechanical kind of.
Yeah, brain.
Yeah.
You got it, girl. You got it. And I'll say that anyone who comes over here and has like stuck around to finish their project, their stuff looks professional. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Everybody's stuff looks so great.
So I'm thinking like. There.
Yeah.
You like that line?
Yeah, that looks good. As long as you can tuck enough back there. It's got to just be covered up by that other foam. The two pieces of foam have to come together. This is just for everybody else listening. They're going to come together like this. They're going to fold into each other so they can hide all that fabric in there.
Can you give me a third hand?
Sure.
And just hold this out so that the
it's not
scissors can.
stick in there.
Yeah. Afraid of shoving the scissors into the back.
You could also take the electric bread knife,
That might be.
zip it right down there. I bet you'll struggle less and it'll be faster.
It probably will be
I'll
faster.
help you out.
Thank
I'll
you.
be your assistant today.
Thank you.
Whew. Electric bread knife for the lady. There you go. Nice plug right here behind.
Who knew? This is an upholstery tool.
I did.
And if you're in the market to buy one, I'm going to highly recommend you look for a cordless rechargeable one. We have one of those. I know, she's jealous of us. We have one at home, and it's amazing. It really makes life easy.
So brilliant. So an electric bread knife is good to cut foam because it's electric, and so it
And
makes
I'm
it
okay
fast.
for sticking it in here because the tip of it is round.
Right.
So it's not going to cut this back foam at all.
As long as you don't stick it in too deep. But any serrated bread knife will work. It doesn't have to be, or like a steak knife will work. It doesn't have to be electric. A serrated knife will work well enough on its own. But the electric kind just cuts through like butter. It makes it really easy. You should keep them clean of glue. I don't.
Well, and you also know nobody's carving the turkeys with this.
Right. If you guys are here and you're learning anything, just tap on the screen as much as you can.
And
Keep
then
tapping until that little heart explodes on you.
I'm going to take another inch off the bottom of this.
Dorothy wants to know where we're located.
Hi, Dorothy.
We are in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I teach my classes, my in-person workshops I teach here out of MakerWorks 4 days a week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then I have a weekend upholstery camp this August. That's 5 days, 4 nights stay at the Newton of Ypsilanti, which is a historic mansion in downtown Ypsilanti. 3 full 8-hour workdays of upholstery fundamentals. We have 4 guest speakers. All your meals are included. All your materials are included. But a regular weekend upholstery workshop with me for my regular classes, if you get all 4 classes scheduled, is only $225. So you can come out here for a weekend and hang out for a 4-day weekend for $225. Bring your project. It's also bring a friend free, my regular classes. So bring your friend to help you and work on a project with me. If there's a specific skill that you want to learn how to do, today we're learning how to do some deep button tufting. I can teach you how to do that. We tie a lot of springs in these classes. A lot of the stuff that you feel like you need hands-on support to do, that's what we do. And if you can't get here to my physical location here at MakerWorks in Ann Arbor, you can join my virtual workshops, which are Monday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Those are live over Zoom, so you're working on your project from home, and I'm walking you through every step of the way. So if it's something that you've always wanted to learn how to do, there should be no barriers to you learn how to do it. The pathway to all of my classes is free. You can take in-person classes with me for free by volunteering some of your time to help me maybe put staples on a project or whatever it is that I need help with on my projects. Maybe even holding a camera in class one day.
Right?
Or I have, if you want to join virtual classes, I have a code that I can send you that you can use for your first virtual class, and it'll give you your first virtual class for free. You can just message me for that code, and I will send it right to you. So there should be no excuse. If it's something you want to learn how to do, start your first class for free. See if it's something that you're still interested in after you've pulled a couple thousand staples. That's usually where we lose them.
Not the most fun part.
It's not the sexy part of upholstery.
But it also is very satisfying.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
No.
you need to just get some
I disagree.
aggression out.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I think that's sociopathic behavior.
No, it's not. All right.
I am not a fan though of
All right, so I don't like how this is doing over here on the corner.
what is it, too big?
It's too big. So
Well, we are going to be wrapping this with fabric.
okay.
If it's coming up too far, just trim it.
Just trim that
Yeah.
top tip off.
Yeah, I think that's fine to just trim that off. And this one just tucked down
Yeah.
a little bit.
I
This
think
looks
the back ended up
Yeah,
to be
just
like
a little taller.
teeny bit longer.
That looks good. We're ready for fabric. Do you think putting it back up?
Yes, I think I would want
Would
it
be
back
helpful.
up for fabric.
Good. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do
I'll
we
get
need
on
to
this
trim,
side.
do we need to trim this? I know,
On
I've
the
asked this
sides?
about 16 times.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's get this up and then you can go trim all the foam before we
Alright.
start putting fabric on. Let's get the cameras in place
Nice.
before we start
Wow.
yapping.
Make sure you hydrate.
Don't forget to hydrate, people. Woo. Tricky tripods. Okay.
So I have a question. I'm curious if the algorithmic world has found us any office fans.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm wearing my Dunder Mifflin.
So every week we wear different shirts to see if we can trigger parts of the algorithm. One week I wore a shirt that said Chicago. We got a lot of people from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I guess we want to know how many people are working from their desk right now.
Maybe,
Or
yeah.
slinging paper.
Or still what?
Or slinging paper.
Or slinging paper. Or they're just big, you know, Michael Scott fan.
So I do want to put another layer of cotton batting on top of this, which will stop like right here. I don't want it to come to the front here. See how this is already kind of
It's
pushing
puffy
down?
enough, yep.
I want to just bring it high, so we'll pull it to fit here, and it just has to tuck back here a little bit.
And then will we put regular batting on top of that?
No, we can put the fabric right on top of that.
Oh.
Yep. We put the regular batting on top of it before to tame it because we knew it was going to be kicked around the storage unit for a couple weeks.
And you want it to tuck?
You can put another layer of batting on top of this if you want to tame it, but it is going to be pretty thick already. That's a pretty poofy seat.
It is very poofy.
What do you guys think about putting deep button tufts on the back, or do you think we should do it solid? What do you think, Lisa? I know what you think.
I mean, I want to learn how to do deep button tufting, so
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I think it'll make the front be more interesting because when you look at it from the front, it's going to be all green.
Yeah.
So I think it needs a layer of interest.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it'll make it look
To like
fancy.
balance with the wild stripes around the outside.
And it was a country girl sort of
Yeah.
aesthetic before, and now I really want Art Deco. I want it to be decadent. I want it to be rich.
And so how much tuck do you think?
All right, hold on. Let me get these guys in place because
sorry.
they said definitely the buttons. And then Taylor says, I love lives like this where we can watch the craft.
Yay!
Like
Thanks,
really
Taylor.
too. I want to get this up close so people can see what it is that you're doing with this batting. So we only need a little bit to go in the back. So I would adjust the back first so that you only have to tear material in one place.
Got you.
And you don't have to feather the back out. That can just tuck right back.
So
Is this
how
the
much?
whole roll? Is this
That's
what's
the
left?
rest. Yeah, that's what's left. I was just waiting to see how much to tear off. the
So
side.
this is fine as long
That's
as it
enough?
just tucks in. Yep. Here on the sides, you're just going to put your hand in that crease
Okay.
and tear it from there. I'm going to let you do all of it though.
Okay.
And then when we get to the top part,
And then just like tuck it.
yep,
That
and then
little
just
bit
tuck
that's
it.
left. Okay. This is my first time with cotton batting.
Second time.
Well, second, my first piece with cotton batting.
First project.
Yes.
I love sofas like these. They are some of my favorites. Me too. This one is beautiful. I really love how the front comes around. I can't wait till you guys see it with the front fabric on, the way it comes around in the front. I like the smooth look of the back seat, but I agree with adding focal interest. They said definitely buttons. Can you explain the difference in cotton batting and poly batting again with the foam? Sure can. So this cotton batting, first of all, this used to be used as like the only material. Well, some of the only material you put in this, you put it over horsehair, hay, coconut hair. But this was the majority of what you would see would be filling the plushness of the seats, so this creates a plushiness. On foam, if you just put fabric on foam, it's going to look flat, like the foam. It's going to like stick to it, and it's going to be flat on the surface.
Don't forget to take out your little
Take out your
piece.
toilet paper.
Your toilet paper.
Poly batting, which is this stuff underneath, this is about 3/4 inches thick, will add a layer of air between the foam and the fabric. So you can put that on top. You don't have to use cotton batting. You can put the poly batting on top to give it a little bit of juiciness between the fabric and the foam. Cotton batting adds a lot of plushiness. It makes it look super duper plushy. Any of these like nubs, I pull because they can
Turn into a glob.
yeah, turn into a glob, but they will knob up and you'll be able to see it under there. Okay. Which will be like if that were kind of lumpy, you would want to put some poly batting on top of this to tame it. But we don't need to do that. We have a lot of padding in here already.
This is going to be the cushiest cushion that you've ever sat on.
Right. We want this. We don't want this to come around to the face. Same reason before. We don't want to build this up anymore.
Right.
We just want it to stop at the top. So I'm putting my hand on the top, like where that top edge is, and I'm just going to tear it down in a straight line so that this will just fade right into that. You don't want to see the transition of these two battings. And you may even like need to pull out more because the factory edge of this batting is a really harsh edge, and you can see it. And we want this to just blend. We want it to felt into the existing fabric. Now, if we put the velvet on here and we can see any of that, we're probably going to put some poly batting on top of that. That looks great. So now you just wipe, and it should feel like it's going smooth.
Yeah.
Feels
It's
good to
weird.
me.
It does. It feels like
you can't feel the
you can't feel the
transition.
transition between the two. No. Nice.
So now let's take and get rid of all of this excess material. You can take your, you're going to use scissors on the batting part or just rip it away.
Okay.
Even. But the foam, you can use your knife.
Okay.
And just go right up to that, that frame.
Why are we not out in the center of the room?
We love to like limit our workspace to this little corner.
Can I use good scissors on the
As long as it doesn't have glue on it, you should be fine.
Those scissors. Oh, and the reason I asked that question is because glue is not a friend of your scissors.
No.
In any way. So.
They'll ruin them, but you
They'll
can get
ruin
them off with acetone and resharpen them. So relax.
No, I know. I'm just
No,
saying.
I know. Yeah, I ruin all my scissors.
So that's why we have cruddy orange scissors, super nice black scissors.
This looks good. Nice job. This one doesn't look like it's sticking out, really.
Across the back?
Yeah, this one is for sure.
There's parts of it that are.
And you might even want to tug this foam to make sure it's... Oh, we trimmed some away. That's what it's like.
Alright.
So this part we're going to leave until we get the fabric on.
Okay.
And we don't have enough of that cotton batting to cover the back and sides. Not even the sides.
No?
No. So just
Yeah.
regular batting then.
And do you want it, so there's the outside frame and there's the
Inside frame.
You
Take
put
it to the inside frame. I don't, if you put this too close to here, you're going to scratch up that
Yeah.
whole surface. You don't want to do that. Did you strip the wood accents yet? We did. We stripped the wood and we painted it gold enamel, and we used a black calligraphy ink in the details. This is how that turned out. So this is going to look pretty Art Deco. Decadent is what we're going for.
Decadent Art Deco.
What's the fabric you're going to use? I'm so glad you asked. I'll show you. So this is the fabric that'll go on the front of the sofa, and then this stripy chenille is going to go on the back, and the back wraps around to the sides right here. Oh my god, it's going to be so cool. I'm so excited. I just wrinkled up your fabric.
What? My green fabric that I just ironed?
Yes.
What?
All right.
I'm trying to figure out how to get this to come down here. It's not.
If you guys are here and you're learning anything, all I ask is that you tap the screen and exchange for this knowledge so that we can get our content out to the For You page and people can find out what it is that we do, which is provide upholstery services and open upholstery workshops. Hopefully I can check back in later and see all the progress you made today. See you later, Sarah. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Sarah.
Sarah says tufting for sure. Oh my gosh. What did I do? Oh no. Okay. I
What?
accidentally closed out your live for a second. It's back.
Oh.
Whenever you swipe the screen weird, it just does weird stuff. Cotton batting is natural batting, right? Yes, cotton batting is made from cotton. This batting is actually cotton hybrid batting though. This is a hybrid between poly and cotton in it. It's a little bit cheaper
You're the winner later.
to use.
Oh.
And I think they use
a little bit of a
recycled
battle.
materials for it. I'm not 100% sure on that though. So, you ready?
I'm just trying to get a little bit. That's fine. Do you want me to trim this batting off in the back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So every layer, trim between layers. Otherwise, you're going to have a bajillion layers of
Nothing's
material that
happening,
you have to
yeah.
wrestle through to get everything done. I'm going to hold on to this till you're ready. When you put fabric directly, anything directly on cotton batting, you have to be very gentle. You can't pull it or tug it, so you have to set it on in place
It's a laying.
and not drag it around because it will just move it all around. So, for those of you to remember, this cotton batting is to make it plushier. The poly batting is to put a layer of air between the batting and the foam. This has actually got,
Lots.
did it have poly batting first and then cotton batting and then poly batting? Or did it just go cotton batting? It did go poly batting because we had to blend it.
Poly. You mean poly under the cotton?
Yeah. Or did it go cotton
No, I
over
think
foam?
it just went cotton over
Cotton
foam.
over foam, then poly to tame it, then cotton on top of that. Sometimes I add several layers.
And then it's hard to keep track of it.
It's the sculpting layer of your material. So you might add a layer and be like, oh, that's not quite what I was hoping. And then you add more to make it poofier, which is why I added this to the seat. I want this
Because
seat
we
to
had the
look
extra
like
foam
juicy.
in the center. Remember, we have that piece of foam in the middle
Yeah.
that just is like here to
To
here,
round it out.
and
yeah.
then another foam on top.
Yeah, to dome it, because the
dome it.
springs in this seat were actually made, this originally had a removable cushion, so the springs are only tall enough to make the seat flat, not to make it domed. So we had to build that dome with a 2-inch piece of foam in the center that's just like a core. It's smaller than the whole seat, it's just sitting in the middle, with another 2-inch piece of foam on top, which is giving it that rounded look. So when you put this on, I fold it in half inside out, right on that center fold that you
Gotcha.
had.
Mm-hmm.
And I center it in the middle, which you have marks everywhere to show you where the center is. So you lay it on top, and then you open it up. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Lay it on top, smooth it out to that side first, and then open it up to the other side. You don't want to pull it into place. You just want to set it there and open it up so that it doesn't pull or drag that batting in any way. That looks great. Nice job. Nice. I'm going to move this camera to the back so we can hover over top of you.
Can you show me the center mark
Yep.
from that bar back there, just up here? I want to make sure because it looks like I'm
This
going
is
crooked.
center.
Yep, I'm going crooked. That looks better.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you guys have any questions about what we're doing or questions about upholstery in general, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. We're going back and forth. Good. So some velvets are not very forgiving and you can see everything going on top. So that's what we're going to see what's happening now. Hey Brad, what's up? So from the center, pushing out. We're gonna pre-tuck everything into those sides. Kind of taut, nice and taut. You don't want to push the fabric down into the crease. You're just creasing the fabric and putting that fold in there. This is to just make sure that we are not cutting it farther than we need to. We're protecting the fabric by tucking the parts that we don't want cut into the chair, but not these parts, because then you won't be able to see to cut it.
Right.
Whew.
What do you think?
Okay.
Beautiful.
That's juicy. That's a juicy sofa. So we're doing that everywhere. What I will say before we do the back, let's make sure that the sides are done. And this should be kind of taut. Like it should be almost like it's upholstered. So you're going to take from this side and you're going to wipe it. So all of that excess is in place. I like how you pulled that out to do that. Good job. I've already got you a hose going.
What?
And the air compressor is on.
Nice.
What?
We don't have to listen to the air compressor charge itself.
We're ready today.
How nice.
Before we make any cuts, we're going to check the fit. So when you think you're ready, step away from this sofa.
Step away from the sofa.
So when we start to lock this down, we go from the center and then we go out. So first I would pull down to the center, see what it does in the seat there. That looks beautiful.
Okay.
And then we come and we pull this out. So what I'm looking for is to make sure there's no excess fabric between this hold and this hold.
Gotcha.
See how it pulls taut?
Yep.
If it were like this, see how loose that is? You're going to get wrinkles when you go to staple it. It needs to be able to pull like this.
Taut, okay.
Nice and taut. On both sides.
Gotcha.
That looks good to me.
Good.
Looks good. Okay, so now we have our cuts to make. We did this with the batting when you guys were all watching with the batting, but let's take a tour around. I'll take mine. You can take yours, and then that one can stay where it's at.
All right.
But this sofa, you can go on that side, has pull-through spots on the side. You can already see material coming through there. That's where we've been tucking everything. That's where you hide your work. So we have to make strategic cuts in this fabric to go through those pull-through spots, which means we have to cut around this leg, and we have to cut around this leg, and there is a piece in the back that we also have to cut our fabric around to make sure. But we're going to do that by making relief cuts. We don't want to remove any fabric at all. We're just going to make relief cuts. So the way that we do that is to make what's called a Y cut around these limbs. So for you, actually, put this guy up here.
Struggling with this.
So when we go to make these cuts, we do this pre-tuck that you just saw us do around all of the edges. This is pre-tucked at the sides, and it's pre-tucked in the back. When it is pre-tucked, we can't cut it too far because it's already kind of tucked back in that area where it needs to be. So we pre-tuck it, and then we lay everything nice and neat so that we can see what it is that we're doing. On these sides here, they kind of have to be folded into the barrier. So this flat should go right across this barrier. We can even make sure we push it to where it touches down to the barrier. Okay. See how it's touching there?
Yes.
So the cut we need to make needs to go around this barrier, which on the back side is about 2 inches. The pull-through spot starts, I'll put my finger in there, right there. So what I need to do is make a cut for the middle of this leg, and then veer off to that corner of the leg and off to that corner of the leg to make a Y cut. Lisa's done this lots of times before. I'm sure she's not worried about it at all. So I'm gonna let her mark it with a Sharpie.
Okay.
I'll get this in place. You go get your Sharpie. And you guys will be able to see how she makes the mark. You don't have to mark it. You are eventually gonna just be able to eyeball this, but marking it helps. It needs to, the cut does need to go to the wood, but we don't want it to go so far that you see this material underneath, and we don't want to go outside this. We're coming just like about 1/8 of an inch inside this edge. so that this will still fold up around the outside.
So my 2 fingers come here, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna come straight.
So I make the line first.
You make the line
Yep,
first?
I make the line,
Oh,
the
wow.
straight line to the middle first.
And are we talking, because
Can you feel the pull through spot? Your pull through spot's right there, so that's the other edge.
Oh, okay.
That's where your Y is going to. So line straight through the middle. Perfect.
Okay.
And then you're going to put 2 fingers down.
Now there's my 2 fingers.
Yep. And the reason why we use 2 fingers?
So that we have something to tuck under once we
Yes.
make the cut.
Well, we use 2 fingers because we have 2 fingers on us at all times.
Oh, because we bring 2 fingers every time we come to the table.
We're never going to lose them. So that it's kind of an arbitrary measurement. It needs to be far enough back that you leave enough material behind. But 2 fingers is always on us at all times. So see how this line comes out? You're going to see a gap right here. So this line should come just inside
just
this
inside?
edge.
All
Yep.
right, well, let's fix that.
Perfect. And that's on both sides too. Although a lot of this material is going to get lost in the thickness of this foam.
All right.
So we put the fabric on first in place, pre-tucked. Now we're making cuts because our fabric can't move.
Right.
So,
Done.
and then when you cut that, open it up so people can see what it looks like. So we call it a Y cut because it looks like a Y. People, come on, get it together. I don't know if you can see what's going on here. I see questions that I'm going to read after she gets this cut done. You guys might have more after you see.
All right, so here's what the cut looks like.
That's how it opens up. So now we've made a relief cut so that if this fabric tucks through, you can pull it around and it'll meet on the other side. So if we needed it to, say, cover up this area right here, that fabric would meet itself and we would be able to create a seam right there. We don't need it to meet on the other side for this because we have a side panel that's going on that's going to cover that up. But you're going to have instances like on a chair, a dining room seat, where you got to cut around those back legs and everything has to wrap around the leg.
Right.
That's why we make a relief cut. We don't remove any material so that that fabric can cover the chair the whole width of the way.
Gotcha.
So this tucks into the foam. I would push it right in the foam, not even overlapping it. Just kind of
just tuck
tucking
it under?
right
Okay.
back in there. And then this piece will come around, and that actually cleans up here. If it buckles around there, that tells us that it's probably can be cut longer, but I want to make all the cuts before I cut anything
Gotcha.
longer. If we get a buckle around the leg, that means that it's longer than it's supposed to be. But that also could mean that it still hasn't gone all the way past that foam yet. So
Right.
we don't want to make the cuts longer before everything is in place because we want that little bit of tolerance in case we made a mistake and we need to move stuff around. So the back corners are a little bit different because they don't come to the flat side of the leg. They come to the corner of the leg. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Don't make any moves.
This is when we play freeze frame.
Yes. So the back doesn't come to the flat part of the leg. The back comes to the corner of the leg. So where you're cutting on the back is actually just a straight line for the corner. But make sure that corner is pre-tucked. If you can touch the frame, that's what I want you to do, is touch the frame.
Oh my gosh. This is me trying to see how far back it needs to come.
You know, I do see people requesting to be in the live, and we do not accept those requests because we don't know you guys. And I've accepted them before, and it's been a disaster.
Gone well.
So, you know, if I get to know you and I know you and you're asking, then I definitely will let you on. But if I don't know you, I can't let you on. I don't need spam bots being inappropriate on the internet.
Some of this is figuring out like how far,
Yeah.
like where it is.
Push your hand all the way back with the fabric till you can touch the frame.
I feel like my hand isn't long enough. Do you know
It's
what I
because
mean?
there's just so much material there. So let me put my hand in there real quick.
Well, stick your hand from that side and see if
So touch your hand.
touch my hand.
Let's find each
Can we
other.
touch
here.
each other?
Yeah. I can feel your hand, but you
I'm not there yet.
No, there's a lot
Am
of
I in the wrong
material.
direction?
Oh, you're there.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay.
Yeah, don't make your cut all the way down the frame. Just take your cut to the foam.
Okay.
So you'll make that cut, and then you'll be able to tuck this side panel in. Oh, the seat's almost done already. Once the foam and batting is on, you guys, it really comes together very quickly. I think.
Oh yeah.
And I'm encouraged, you can't see the transition of foam and batting in the front of the seat.
I put this back on the floor.
Does it feel clogged?
It's clogged, but also up here I don't have a lot of strength to push down.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do we have a ruler? Like a plastic ruler can be helpful as a tucker. Let me find something. Here. Try this, because if you can get the middle part of that to come down here,
Right.
then you can pull that and stretch it out. And remember to lead with the front. You have to pull it out. Tuck it back in again. I did. It's so tight in there.
It's
Let's see.
getting there.
It's about to burn!
Holy cow.
I'm gonna move your camera to the other side so you can see it come through. Ooh. I gotta fix this.
Goodness.
My tripod's falling apart.
Did it spin?
This is not tight, so it's just free falling.
Okay, so don't laugh at all the faces I'm making right now.
No, do laugh at it. It's
Woo!
entertainment.
Look! Do you see it?
I
There's
can
an
see
up.
it. It burst. Woo! Push. Help. For $100 an hour.
$100 an hour. I know.
Good. Now it's coming. And it's looking good.
Yeah. We move it down.
Move it to the floor?
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like that's gonna help me have some leverage.
Ready, set, go. It does look good on top though. It's coming through.
Yeah. Oh, see?
Did it come right through?
Just poked it right through.
Good. Well, this is a good angle for everybody then. If you keep it on the floor. Which it probably won't need to be on the floor when we're cutting holes. You're going to need it on the back.
Right. Ah, there we go. Today's workout.
CrossFit by Loco.
CrossFit by Loco. That's right.
That's looking good.
Last little corner.
All right, I'm going to take my tic-tac down. I saw a bunch of questions on there.
Okay.
If you guys are here and you're learning, all I ask is that you tap the screen as violently as possible whenever we remind you so that we can reach
And then do I
other
do
people's For You page.
start bringing the back through, or do we go to
So
the
you
other
gotta
side first?
make a cut for the back,
For the
the
ba-
center,
center, yeah.
and that one will be a Y cut.
Gotcha.
And that is go take a round look in the back to look how wide you're feeling for, because it's a good 2.5 inches, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's not a little guy. So
It's like patterning what you're trying to feel for
Yes.
in your mind.
Yes, and it's a lot of it is about feel, but there is, if the foam wasn't there, you would be able to see this, just like we did when we put the barrier fabric on, and you could see it better to make sure your cuts, but you can't see as much when the foam and batting is on. You have to feel for it. So someone said, did you strip the wood accents yet? We covered that. Yes, we cleaned all the finish off of the wood with denatured alcohol. We didn't have to sand it at all. Did you cut it already?
No.
You're just seeing if it's long enough?
Okay, but look back here. I don't have to cut it. Is it gonna?
So it is going to split
gonna come-
around that, but the cut's not going to be as long as you think you need it.
Right.
It's just going to stop at the foam.
Would it make more sense to make the cut on the?
No,
What?
because you won't be able to see it. You won't, after it's wrinkled up, you won't be able, it doesn't straighten out. So we cleaned the wood off with denatured alcohol, which removed the finish completely down to the wood. We didn't have to sand it at all. Then we sprayed it with a gold enamel paint, and we antiqued it with black calligraphy ink. You are explaining it pretty well. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. What size staples do you use on this project, or do you use different sizes throughout? That's a great question. We use different sizes throughout. On the first layer, I think we use shorter staples because it's just one thin layer of material. For all the subsequent layers, we're using 1/2-inch staples because we really need it to bite into the wood. But if this wood is too thin for 1/2-inch staples, you're going to blow right through it with a long staple. So you'll want to use shorter staples. But you want to make sure your staples are long enough to go through all the layers of material. This layer is going through batting and fabric. How's it feel?
It's just
So don't tuck this side down yet because you still have to cut here.
right.
So I would pull this whole half up. You can get that side down. Be careful because of the cut.
Oh.
Be real gentle pulling it back. Where your cut is. And then let's get this pushed back into place because it looks like it all came out the side. And we don't want to miscut it. I wish I had watched from the very beginning. Well, we play these live replays on YouTube, so you can watch it from the very beginning. The live replay from when she started putting the jute springs, all of that stuff is on YouTube, so you can go through this whole project and rewatch it. Can't see what you're doing. We're doing our
I know.
best.
It's hard.
Yeah, I
can't
think
see
that
what
was
I'm
from a
doing
little while ago. We're doing our best to move these cameras around. We have 2 or 3 cameras on this situation right now. My TikTok camera, my Instagram camera, and Lisa's Instagram camera. So you can see it if you search local on TikTok and Instagram. You can see 2 different angles, and you can go find Ramsay House Upholstery on TikTok and Instagram. But I think you're only on Instagram Live today, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok.
So you can follow her, Ramsay House Upholstery, and she's got an angle too, so you can see it from all over the place.
So this, I really think my fingers aren't long enough to go all the
To
way
feel.
through.
Okay, let me get a feel.
See if you can feel. Because I can feel that whole bottom piece that's
Oh,
in
yeah.
farther,
Yeah.
but then that other piece is back behind it.
Yeah. So I think that is fine. Why are we still tucking it? Did we cut it? You didn't
No,
cut
I didn't cut it yet.
Okay, you need to cut
I'm
it.
still trying to get there.
So you don't have to feel the frame back there because we know it's going to go past
I was
it.
trying to do.
No, that's okay. So it's that. So this whole thing's gonna come out, and we'll push this stuff back in because I think it's pulling out the cotton
Yeah, it's
too.
pulling some
We want that to be nice and smooth. Don't clog up the system. Smooth it back out. So this, before we do the back, I want you
Smooth
to
it back over.
smooth it back over and try and get it as straight as possible. Pull it nice and taut, and then tuck so that it's super taut across, and then tuck the back.
Okay.
So the cut is going to be a Y cut for that, but it's just going to stop here. You're not going to have to take it all the way back to the frame, but this still has to
It
be
still has to
tucked
go.
kind of far back, like down to the bottom. If you can just reach the floor of it, you should be good. But don't tuck the long parts back because
Okay.
you need to see those.
Now I got it.
Yep, do it all the way across.
Oh, all
Yeah, all you want it to be nice and even. All the way across on both sides. Pre-tuck everything. If you don't pre-tuck, you run the risk of cutting it too far and then being able to see the material. Jamie says, what's been your favorite piece you've worked on now? What about you, Lisa?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I think those professor chairs.
The wingbacks?
The pair of wingbacks.
Surprise, surprise!
I know.
Because we got that fabric and we were like, brown.
Yeah, the brown was not my fave.
But you really classed it up.
But I think it looked really cool.
So if you guys hadn't seen them, they're two like brown wingback chairs that have darker brown vinyl accents, and they look like a professor's like suit coat.
And then all the way to the left too.
Yeah, why did you tuck that end so far back in? So don't tuck any of the fabric back yet until you get your cut. You gotta put your cut in first.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because you have to see what you're doing. So this should be nice and straight and even. That looks good. Looking good. My favorite piece to work on so far. Oof. Every piece I work on is my new favorite piece.
I know. It's like they all have something cool about it.
This one is going very well. This flower one. I mean, it wasn't. There's been some problems, but it looks gorgeous, and I'm happy with it. And that's doing well on the internet, so that makes me happy too. So now one of my favorite pieces. But there was this one big green couch that I did. It was like a reupholster job with a regular like sectional. I did it like a chartreuse velvet, like chenille textured fabric, and it was gorgeous.
What do you think of that?
That looks good.
Does that look good?
Yeah. See this side?
Oh,
Just make sure everything looks even before you get going on it.
okay.
And so this one gets the corner cut to the back.
Oh,
and then
we don't do this yet?
Well, I'm just showing you all your
okay.
cuts.
Gotcha.
So that gets the cut in the back.
Yep,
And then that
same
gets
as
the corner cuts
that.
here. Yep.
Gotcha.
That looks lovely. I am a fan of this velvet. If you guys are here and you're learning anything, just tap, 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 tap on the screen. And if you're on TikTok, a little pink heart's going to show up in the upper left-hand corner, like a meter, and you just keep going until the meter throws your party. It's fun for you, fun for me. People go to, or this starts getting sent out to people's For You page. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them. Using a Sharpie is a little dangerous. It can leak through thinner fabrics that accidentally hit a good side of fabric. You're absolutely right. Bad. No, I use Sharpies. We're using Sharpies because you guys can see it on the screen. And you can't see the thin chalk. And also, we live dangerously.
That's right.
We pay for this fabric. We do whatever the hell we want. No, but I have messed up. You shouldn't be using Sharpie. You should be using, like they have removable inks that like you could steam off.
Chalks. There's the chalk pencils.
Regular ink pen is fine, although I've had a regular ink pen blow up. Take a look at the surface of your fabric while you're tucking, because we want to keep that nice and smooth. You want that to stay nice and taut. That looks good. So we did the cut in the back center already. Now we're doing the one in the back corner, which is just one diagonal cut for the corner leg. And then the next cut is going to be for that front leg. So when you go to tuck it, grab, like you can pull this whole thing out because this whole thing is clogging up your system. So untuck everything you tucked and fish it through with this end first. Where's that ruler that you had? Right here.
Yeah.
So you can fish it with this end of the ruler.
Okay.
Get that little piece to go through first, and then you can pull that through the back.
All right.
So you gotta like fish it through like you're threading a needle.
Gotcha.
Almost. Because if you start tucking from that tuck, all that fabric is just gonna get jammed. Be careful with that sharp edge of the ruler too, not to scratch off the fabric. Sometimes I'll use scissors too, 'cause I enjoy making myself cry. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments.
Art.
Cindy Lou Who is here. I've seen her here before.
Cindy Lou Who?
I like to take it
You want all that tucked?
with my, the whole, everything gets tucked now.
Oh my gosh.
Everything that's been cut can be tucked. And that's already so back. So you can go to the back, pull those.
Pull those through.
Yep. So you'll start to see the seat come together and the wrinkles come out as we start pulling everything through the pull-through spots. It should get nice and taut. Oh my god, sorry guys. I'm like running into the ceiling and I just got a big footprint. Let's see. Any water or anything? You're good.
I'll get some in a minute. I'm
I didn't get some water. Or
You think I'm a big old wimp.
it's a tight spot.
It is a tight spot.
What are you struggling with?
Just get this back through. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah, I just need like the first corner and then it'll. And then I got the cut on the front.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that yet. And tucking away.
Don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy.
Straightening out my back here.
Hopefully we didn't put too much of it on that side. That's looking short over here.
It does look short.
And the center point has definitely
It has moved.
drifted from the center. Not too far though.
No?
No, I think that you still can move it. Yeah, I think we're good. Whew. I would do this.
To get more over
Yep,
there.
to get as much as you can over here to
Okay.
the front and to the back before you make that cut right there.
Okay. To the back?
This and up here.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
This has to move all back too. We really do want to try and like clean up the wrinkle lines.
Gotcha.
When I pull this, you should be able to see those clean up.
Clean up. Needs one like right there.
Pull
A pull. Yeah, it's got it.
here.
There.
So I feel some cotton that has been shifted up here. You might not be able to get to that from the front, or actually if you can push it down into the crack. Because it's buckled up above the top, just that spot. You got it? Can you feel it?
How's that? Is that enough?
You got it. That looks good.
Alright. Over here.
So Y cut for that leg,
Yes.
and that can go to the frame. Straight line through to the middle, 2 fingers to mark a dot, and then you draw a line from those dots to the corners of that leg. In this case it's a leg. In some cases it's just like a piece of
Support
wood
piece or something.
support. Yeah, I call them ribs
Oh, okay.
because I treat them like bone, like skeletons, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, just inside those corners, good. Lead with the top, pull it out first. If you pull it out, then you're ready.
Oh, I
And
see.
then I would make sure that this
It's tucked back in first.
first, and then you lead with this edge. And if you just push it till you can feel it go through, that's really close. But I think we can get it. But now you can see our conundrum of like having enough material
Yeah.
to pull through there. We still have some give.
Yeah.
It's looking tight. Peekaboo. It's like just long enough.
Skimming the edge. It's okay.
But we have tons on that, so that's how we know we shifted.
Yeah.
And you can get pliers too to pull those little bits. There's actually a
Tool for that?
I have a tool for that. It's a stretcher. And you can use it to pull your fabric. You don't want to use this on show fabric. Because especially velvet, it's got little teeth.
Yeah.
It will leave a mark in it. It's looking good. All right, let me get my glasses on, get my lookers on. And then put it back on. I asked because I have 2 chairs that are matching low Art Deco style with pink dot fabric. I think I missed the first part of that question. So if you have the first part, I just have and then put it back on question mark. I don't have the first part to that. I can see it coming through.
I feel like the cut for this back here is all on that, like the fabric is all on that side.
Well, as soon as we get the rest of the fabric through, you'll be able to see. I would work on pulling this all the way out before you make any assumptions, because it's not in place. And the stuff that comes through, you can just pull. This one looks good. This is all the way down the edge.
It's getting caught on the little piece of
Yeah, you can trim this too, like snip at them, so that you can do that.
Are there scissors right there next to you?
Sure are. feel a little lump of cotton.
Still back there?
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's that factory edge too. Remember
Yeah.
how it has like a harsh edge?
Okay.
So I'm just opening it up.
Yeah, we're definitely living on the edge.
So see all of these wrinkles right here on the top of your seat? So we have to like this fabric is bunched together here. That's
Okay.
why it's doing that. So as you pull it from the center, spread it out. As you're pulling it out, stretch the fabric out so that it opens that up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, great. Beautiful. Look at that. Whew, look at your seat.
I need a towel.
So let's get it backed up on the sawhorses,
Okay.
because you're going to be pulling all this into place. We're going to start with center staples everywhere, stretch it out nice and taut, and then fill in the gaps. Okay?
Yep.
Well, we can place. We gotta staple it. It just comes down a little bit. It's like that. Okay. First, let's move the cameras.
Okay.
Continue to see what we're doing. Your area is in disarray. Maybe move the.
Do we want to come back? Let's work smarter. Yeah, so we can actually walk around it. That would be lovely. And we're going to come up taller, so you'll be able to see it in just a second. There we go.
Nice cuts. Look at the back. Perfect fit. That's how you know. It's damp in here.
It is so hot. I'm like,
Moist. If you don't have sawhorses like this, you go to Home Depot and get you some. These are $26 a piece. They're definitely worth it. If you're working on projects like this, check your front leg. Oh, you don't. Yay! So take a look at the front, how the fabric comes down.
oh,
See how it's a little twisty?
yeah.
So
So
I
it needs
think
to come this way.
well, or you can tuck this back a little bit.
Do we want more fabric that way, though?
So yeah, we should try and get something to come down that way, but I think also up this way and then across this way. So go tug from the back. And then when she tugs from the back, you're going to start to see this whole area tighten up. It's real lumpy back here from being loose. You can watch from the back as it tightens to watch this shape start to get more taut and lined up.
And this,
Good. Yeah, that's straightened everything up in the front for sure.
is that good?
Yeah. So I can see here we have a little bit of buckling from this side, but let's get everything pulled first. So everywhere, I would start in the center and then work my way out, just like when we do staples. Coming together.
Yep.
And it should start to look nice and taut. Look at your wide cut back here in the back.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright,
So one of the things that I thought about, like the front of this, like right now we have it green, but where does this stop?
I was just thinking about that earlier.
because the stripes come around this side. You got it?
How's
Nice.
that looking there?
Yeah, that looks great. So you don't have to go too crazy with that too. So
I was just trying to get a little bit more through so I had something to grab to.
Nice.
Smooth?
So this is the only area of concern I have. This actually looks like it will clean up. See, there's no buckle.
Gotcha.
See this side?
Oh, okay.
So that needs,
Some of that fabric taken
well,
out.
one, what happened was the cut moved. So the Y is over here now.
Gotcha.
So you just need to take this
Out.
and make a new Y down to that corner.
Okay.
But make sure that's pulled into place first. So whenever your fabric bunches up around your leg like this, it tells you that it can be cut more. And that's what Lisa's gonna do, is make a cut to relieve that fabric.
So this is what we're talking about right here, where there's a bunch. So we're gonna just bring it back.
Hold on. Freeze! Suckers! Okay, go ahead.
So we're gonna come from this original cut over to just the inside of the leg.
If you go beyond that leg, you're going to be putting a gap between the leg and the material, and you're going to see all the foam and batting underneath. Perfect. Yep, that should clean up right around it. So now we got to think about the front of this frame,
Yeah, how is
because
it?
we have to make a decision
This still
now.
has a buckle. So does it need to go back further?
Yep.
On this side maybe?
Let me take a look. No, I don't think on that side. I think, see how much material there is before that
Okay.
fold?
Yeah.
The fold goes to the frame, you can cut it all the way back to that fold. Good. And then this can get tucked under there, and this will get
Oh, there we go.
cleaned up around here. So, what we need to decide is what is gonna happen
What's
to the
gonna
front.
happen on this front?
Let me move this back, because we have fabric that wraps around to the front. That is a different fabric. So that's
Our
gonna,
area that we're trying to figure out.
yeah, that's gonna change how that gets placed on it. So this fabric comes around here, and I'm thinking we can, it shouldn't go in here.
Shouldn't go in where?
It shouldn't wrap around this way.
No.
It's gotta stop at this edge. And I think that
At the
that
corner?
could be decorative nail heads,
Okay.
if not all around. Like, who knows? Decorative nail heads might look great on this whole entire thing. But
Still don't like this corner.
this'll just come right up to the edge, and that fabric will fold probably there at some sort of trim. So this is gonna come down. We have to staple it over this way, but inside, like it's gonna be past this way, because this fabric will overlap on top of
Wait.
it.
Repeat that so I can see your fingers.
So this is gonna come out to this way. It's gotta staple beyond this edge, because
Gotcha.
this fabric is gonna fold over there and clean that up. So this is gonna come all over here. And I can even see that that can get cut,
That one can cut more too.
just a little bit. Just to where it sets the buckle there.
Something over it.
I know. We do have plenty of that.
Yeah, I know, but I don't wanna have to dig all that stuff
Yeah.
back through again, right?
So, starting in the middle, we're gonna take from the back here
Sweep
and
forward.
sweep forward, wipe down with your whole hand. Don't pinch and pull down like this,
Mhm.
because you're gonna pull down one part of the weave of it. It's gonna make a sharp little divot. I'm using the wide part of my hand to pull down as much as I can. And I'm not pulling tight, I'm just using this wiping motion, although this has to be a little bouncy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to pinch any fabric together. This will only get looser over time. So if it is kind of loose when you sit on it, and it's baggy when you sit on it, it's too loose. So we wipe, we put our first staple, is gonna go right up next to the frame. You can do temporary staple for now,
Okay.
but it's gonna go right up next to the frame. Don't, here's your, don't tip it down like this, because you're going into that carved wood and you're not gonna be able to trim it out. You want it to be going straight, because then it's gonna leave a tiny little gap between the staple and the edge of that, so you can cut the fabric out without it cutting too close to the
And
staple.
these staples are straight, not diagonal.
These are straight, not diagonal. The other staples were diagonal to create a nice flat spot, but this is going all the way to the edge, because our trim is going all the way to the edge. So we start with the middle. For everybody watching, we want to evenly, before we put a bajillion staples in, we want to evenly distribute the fabric across the surface of the seat. So we're going to put a staple in the middle here, we're going to tack it down in the middle in the back, then we're going to tack it down in the middle on the sides, then we're going to come over here and we're going to stretch the corners, stretch that corner, do the corner on the sides, corners on the back, and then after everything is stretched out into place, we can come back through and put all of our staples in. And on this case, these staples are going end for end right along this edge, almost like stitches.
Gotcha.
We want them touching right next to each other. That's not always the case. When we do a diagonal staple, they're about every half inch apart and they cover more surface area. But we need to really hide that trim, and we're using a single welt or decorative nail heads. I don't know. What do you guys think? Decorative nail heads may be too much. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. I feel like it would be okay, like in the corner, just to put a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I think just to like finish that edge off.
I think like,
But I don't know
on
about
the
the full edge.
That's the other thing, is I don't know if the green is gonna look good around, the green stripe will look good as a welt around or the green solid around the stripe. I thought black might look good, but I don't know if black will look good with the green. But I have black velvet, we can play around with that.
Yeah.
So that's for you.
All right.
Center staple first. And we're gonna do a temporary staple. So I wanna get close so you can show everybody what a temporary staple is. Let me get down lower before
All
we
right.
get going.
I'm just looking at something here because this fabric, am I just gonna smooth it down so it comes all the way? Is it barely?
It's barely there, yeah. Yeah. And I would try and get as much length down from the middle as you can first, because that's going to help you on your sides. We're also watching the shape of the crown of the seat, which is the top. We want to make sure that, like when we work from the center on out, that we're keeping that round shape, that it stays straight. The line stays straight in the back where the crease meets. See how it kind of goes zoop?
Yeah.
That's because we pulled in the center, but we need to match that tension everywhere.
Okay.
And we also have to watch this line up front to make sure that that stays straight, because if you pull it at different tensions,
Right.
it's going to look lumpy.
Right. Okay.
Do it. And watch the direction of the wrinkles on your seat. If you're pulling, watch Lisa, when you pull down straight, your lines, the wrinkles in your seat should come straight. If you're pulling too far to the side, see how it shears?
Yeah.
Same thing that way. So that's how you know everything should kind of look symmetrical to either side of it when you're pulling down straight.
Gotcha.
If you're pulling to the side, it's going to twist and it's going to shear and it's not going to look clean. We are at 27% over here. It is 12 p.m. Ooh, this is taking more time than we thought.
Because I couldn't shove all that stuff
Right.
together.
We might not get to the deep button.
We might not get to the deep button tuck.
We'll get to the measuring for sure. The seat part's almost done.
Right.
If you have questions, please put them in the comments section, and I will read them off. I'm going to go through them now. I don't have anything on
And
the
this
Ramsays.
gets stapled on top of that frame piece.
Yes, we did not use a temporary staple.
I did. I tipped it.
Oh, it feels like a little down in there. So be careful. Tip it a little bit more next time, because if we get to have to remove this staple, it could damage the fabric if it's all the way in there.
Okay.
But that looks good in the front. That's good tension. So you can start to see, I'm going to put your camera down eye level so that you can see how the shape of the crown changes as you pull and make this stuff tauter. You can see it's a little beefier on this side right now because it's loose. We know it's pulled tighter on the left-hand side because we're
barely
pretty
got
close over there. So right now Lisa is just putting a staple in the center of all the sides. That's going to lock the material down so that it doesn't twist when we put the rest of the staples in, because if it twists then we end up with wrinkles, and we don't want to end up with wrinkles. And if you're watching from TikTok or Instagram, we're on both, and they both have different angles, so you can see them both. So we have the centers everywhere done.
Yes.
This feels like a good
Does that feel
tension.
good?
Yeah. So the next staple we're gonna. Ooh, sorry guys.
Oops, sorry.
The next staple we want to do is from this center staple all the way down to
So-
this corner staple. So we're pulling not just down to make everything taut this way, but also over, because we want to get rid of any slack between that staple and this staple. If this is loose and we start stapling from here to here, you can see how all this starts to bunch up and wrinkle. But if it's taut, then we can just come through here with our stapler and like staple it in,
Gotcha.
because it's already in place. So I will just lock one down in the corner
Is this,
here.
this is your concern there?
So that's gonna come down when you do that. And it should go right to the edge.
Okay.
It goes right to the edge, and that's all we
Alright,
need to
that's all we
do.
need.
So this is gonna go down and out, and you should see all of the lines and like looseness, like tighten up
Okay.
and be tight from there. And you're still using the palm of your hand to pull that out. And
And do you want it like,
it can go all the way
Down
down.
here?
Like I think you can probably do that and staple
oh,
where
alright.
that's gonna be. And that can be open, because we're
That
gonna
can be
overlap it. All of the, so the bottom staple will go down to here. This is gonna get stapled up this side
And trimmed.
and then trimmed. But we're not gonna staple it up that side yet. So now we just wanna stretch it out. Love it. So diagonal from the center is gonna bring all the excess material to the side. Good.
Yeah, it's not feeling
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah. So this too, and this looks like it can get trimmed a little bit more. See that buckle? If you're watching and you're learning something, all I ask is that you tap the screen and let me know that you're engaging. When you do that, it sends this content out to the For You page, and that's how people find me. I teach upholstery workshops here at my local makerspace, MakerWorks, 4 days a week. So you can come here and learn upholstery from me. I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan. If you can't make it to Ann Arbor, Michigan, I do have virtual upholstery classes. I want you to watch this front. See all this here? That's got to go out too. So you're not just stretching down, you're also stretching out. Good. See these guys?
I feel like this still is not.
Yeah, you're struggling there. So pull it out all the way, down all the way, then you can see where it goes. If you open this back up all the way, and it goes right to the fold, just cut it down to that fold. That'll be good. So here, over and down. God, that looks beautiful. Well done. That seat really took shape.
Alright,
Okay.
back corners.
So back corners, yep, to the side. I might even do the back center first. Like between these two. Actually, do the back corner. Stretch it all the way out to the side.
Okay.
And then do the back centers when you're done with that. And then after we get these done, we're going to do the centers between the staples we just put in there to lock those down. Renewed by Riley is here.
Hey!
Hey girl, hey! I always wanted to learn how to do this, but I'm in Missouri. I'll look into the virtual classes. Missouri is not that far of a drive, I'll tell you that. I teach my classes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I do that for 2 reasons. 1, to give you 4 consecutive classes because you stay more focused to finish your project in time. And 2, to make it easy for people who are traveling in and out of state to make it here for a weekend. And there's a great place called the Newton you can stay at. She gives a good deal for my students who come in on the weekends. And I also have a weekend upholstery camp. It's a summer camp this year in August, 15th to the 19th. Lisa, you're going to be there.
Yeah.
All 4 days.
That's
We're going to
nice.
have a ton of fun. It's 5 days, 4 nights. We stay at the Newton of Ypsilanti, which is an historic mansion in downtown Ypsilanti. The owner, Allison Anastasio, is also a chef. She makes all of our food from scratch. So all your meals are chef-prepared meals. We have 4 guest speakers. We have Wes and Jess Breitenbach. I think that's how you pronounce their name, Breitenbach or Breitenbach. We have Sharon O'Connor of Vintique Upholstery, and she's also on the show Money for Nothing, which is in the BBC. We have Nicole Crowder, who I'm super duper excited about. I've been a huge fan of hers for years. And then we have Rhonda Shanahan from the Whimsical Chair, who will also be joining us too. And they're going to talk about their journeys, how they got into upholstery, what they're doing now, the state of the industry, where they're at. Sharon O'Connor is in the UK, so her industry looks a little bit different than our industry. They have
Don't they have like weird regulations going on right now?
They do. They're trying. So Sharon is fighting for sustainable upholstery materials to get rid of foam like this that has like harsh chemicals and stuff in it, so we can have more sustainable materials. But they also have trade schools still for upholstery out there. They don't have that in the U.S. So
How's this
people
look
get
here?
formal training. That is looking good. What we're watching is for this line here to make sure that stays straight. Beautiful job.
Alright.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so now where do we go? Across the front?
So now, did we do the centers in the back?
I did the centers all the way around.
So now we're gonna do the centers in between here,
Okay,
here and here.
gotcha.
So we're gonna take this down with that wiping motion. This is where you're really gonna wanna watch this line because you have to match that tension. So I might, when I even tug it, come way down here and make sure that I'm matching. Actually, I think it's safe for you to come from the center all the way to the side. That way, if this moves, you can adjust that
Out in the end.
at the end, which is why we do the temporary staples. So how many staples are in here? 3 on the front,
Yep.
3 on the,
There's
3 on the sides.
3 on the sides, there's more on the back,
3, 6, 9, 13.
at least.
13 staples.
Yeah.
That's how many staples you gotta put in before you put in the rest of your staples. That's to lock it down in the center in the front, the center in the back, the center on the sides, and to stretch it out evenly so that we get good coverage before we start locking it down. Now we can move from this all the way out to the side. Remember, your staples are going all the way right up close to the edge, but don't tip your gun down. Keep it straight up so that it leaves a gap because you need to remove the material still. You'll notice there's no foam or batting on the face of this seat where we have to put the staples. We left it bald there so that we could, hold on already, no, just because you were pulling it in this way.
Oh, gotcha.
So when you're doing it, make sure you're not just pulling down, but you're pulling out in that direction too.
Okay.
You are stretching it towards the staple, so I don't want to see that wrinkle happening there. And we don't want to put too many staples in before it's too late. And your staples will be like end for end, right next to each other. Good. Perfect. And sometimes when you're done with that, I'm going to move real quick. Because in order to get a larger area down at the same time, I'll pull kind of nearby it and get it down and then hold that into place, and then I can work my way to that finger.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now you have like so much more, but you have to
get it
get
in
all
place.
of it in place first.
Gotcha.
And then hold it there, and then work your way to that point. But we're still doing a little bit, see how we're starting to get, and this is from being stretched out and stuff too. So by the time we get here, you will be removing that staple to pull it straighter this way.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense to everybody watching? Still got a good feel here. Let's get this down closer to this staples so you can see what's going on with the staples. Yeah, that looks great. You feel it?
Yep.
Coming together? This is what I'm gonna get right down in there with you.
So this,
Oh, that looks good.
is that okay?
Yeah, that
I'll
looks
swirl a
great.
bit.
Yeah, that's because we put batting there.
Okay.
So it's a little poof. Watch the angle. And make sure you're all the way down to that edge. You should be able to feel it.
Yeah,
You
it's
can.
sitting. It's
Good.
like red and
Yeah.
right on it.
Lovely. Oh my gosh, girl, it looks so good. You might not have to remove that staple.
Maybe the upholstery pads are looking down on me.
We'll see. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Look at how, step back for a second, Lisa. I need you to see how this shape starts to really,
Ooh,
isn't this so pretty?
It is.
It's so luscious.
Love it. Love
So
it.
luscious. Doing a great job. If you guys are here and you're learning something, sorry. Tap the screen, guys. That's what we need. Karen says Missouri's not far. That's true. I think it's like 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, if you're coming out for the weekend, not that bad. If you fly in, I do have projects that you can work on in my storage unit. Take a look up, look up at your fabric.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
Yep.
Now might be a good time for you to
Maybe take that staple out.
pull this side. I don't know if that stable's going to have to come out.
Okay.
It looks like it's going to be fine. But pull this side over and maybe drop a staple at the top.
Right there.
A temporary one, you're going to want to take that out because that's a lot of material there. It doesn't need to be folded. There you go. See how it took that shearing out of the corner?
Yep. I'm like trying to figure out where the line is. All right, there we go.
Right down into the corner.
All the way.
All the way into that corner.
Oh, gotcha.
Yay. Okay, take this guy out
Okay.
because this is a lot of material and we don't need that there. See how this lays open flat?
Yeah.
That's what we're working. That's what we're
Toward?
working toward.
Gotcha.
See that? How it opens up like that?
Oh, gotcha.
So we don't want the material to be bulky right here because this is flat. And if it's a bunch of material bunched up underneath there, the outside panel is going to be lumpy in that area. Yes.
Just bring it
Yeah,
like that.
exactly like that.
All right,
And just
then
take your staples straight down
down.
to that corner. Actually, you might want to even go a little bit beyond that corner, like from here up.
Okay. Like there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're pulling pretty tight there.
Is that too tight?
Just so, no. I'm letting everybody know.
Oh.
You're not just holding it there. She's
No.
pulling. You can
No.
see your hands shaking. This is a very labor-intensive activity. It's not simple.
No
I have
fooling
carpal
around.
tunnel and it is pretty painful.
Okay.
So see this area where it goes around the frame, like around that leg there, you can put staples there too.
Okay.
And then we're going to work our way from the center back to the other side. we get to lock this front down first after we've locked in all of the staples that hold it into place.
Oh, now
And then we're going to do the back.
left-handed.
Now you can do it left-handed. So the reason why we go from the center out is because the fabric stretches, and we did find we had to remove a staple to get it to go into place properly.
Oh,
You need staples?
I do.
I got you, girl. Let's talk about staples for a minute.
Yes. I will take staples.
That is full of loose.
They're loose.
They're like still like rings of staples, but they're not in boxes
Oh my gosh.
because the way UPS handled them broke up all the boxes.
Thanks, UPS. Oh my.
So there's just a box of
Boxes.
there. That almost was my head.
What?
The staple that you just
It did?
Yeah, shot over here, went right past my face. It's all right. I'll remember when you shot me in the face.
We'll look back on those memories fondly.
We sure will. That looks nice.
Is that gonna be okay? Should I just slap another staple? Put another staple in there?
Yeah, I put a staple right next to it. This one looks hot too.
That was my temporary.
Yeah, I take that one out. Be gentle with the fabric.
Yes, ma'am.
My classes, my regular classes, you guys, the in-person ones are also buy 3 get 1 free, which makes that 4-day weekend $225. And they're also bring a friend free. So you can bring a friend to help you with your project and split the cost, and then you both get to take the class for a little over $100. I'm here to assist you. Just tell me what you need.
Oh, sorry. I'm just used to grabbing my stuff.
I know. Gosh, that looks so pretty.
Pliers. Here we go. I'm afraid of that one. I'm gonna pull that one just out.
Nice.
No.
We got self-healing down here. Not too bad.
Okay.
So now you got to put a staple back where you took, like near where you
Right
took
on the
that
top?
one out. Yeah, and I might see if it kind of just bunches a little bit. Just push it down. Yeah. Good. Good stuff. Again, if you have questions, you go ahead and put them in the comments. All the way down to the corner.
Okay. Is that okay?
That staple is what's causing that little guy, but you can take that out later.
Okay.
See, that's just like a
The
slight
little-
straight line.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Okay.
But we could take that out later. We don't need to worry about it right now. Yep. That looks accurate. So Lisa is really going right up to that line. We shifted. It happens. I do think that Instagram probably is going to kick us off soon.
Yeah.
Maybe. It is 12:39. It's almost 1 p.m. We're going to be here till 2. I need you guys to like way more than we're liking right now. Karen says, got to get back to my desk job, but I'll look into classes.
What?
We did it.
Desk job.
We did it.
Oh,
Your
we
Dunder
did.
Mifflin shirt was working.
Dunder Mifflin.
We're trying to get the desk jobbies today, so we wore t-shirts to upset the algorithm. So we're glad that you got to make it for a little bit, Karen. Maybe we'll see you at a class sometime. See how it's buckling under that staple?
Yeah.
What do you know you gotta do?
I gotta take it out.
As soon as you see it. As soon as you see it. Look at how smooth that seat is. That looks so good. See the seat. I'm gonna go get your razor blade.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's 2 razor blades.
They sometimes glue themselves together.
They do. It's that oil. They package them with oil. Look what you did. Looks good. All the way up. Excellent. So now what you want to do, and you can start this in the center, but you don't have to, is we're going to take the knife and we're going to poke it right down into that carved detail,
Okay.
like at that edge that I told you not to cut it at. And this, your knife should be very sharp when you do this. This is like a curved edge, and so I'm really nervous about going too far.
Yeah, it is like crazy
So-
in there. I was worried about the staples.
So I'm taking my time, but you can see how that removes it like real close to the edge, keeps that fabric down flat so it doesn't curl up, because if it curls up then you're gonna see it,
Feel me a lump?
and you can come back through. I'm pointing this down into the carved part. It should go right in that groove. If you cut too close to the staples, then it's gonna fray out and you're gonna lose all your staples. So you gotta cut underneath the staples. But see how that really clean?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Your turn. I would, before you do anything, take that little staple out that's causing you problems, and you probably have to put something else there. You might not have to put something else there. There's another staple pretty close. But that one is just sort of gouging into the side a little bit.
You think it's this one?
Yes.
Or
And
this
I
one?
think if you get it from this side. I'm afraid for your face.
I know, I was just thinking that.
I don't push though, that's the thing. I push in.
Gotcha.
So if you did that, then you would loosen it up so that you can get that out
Under there.
from, without it being under the fabric,
Yeah.
your tool. Because you don't want to damage the fabric there. That's the tricky part.
Oh, it needs. I see. See my nails?
Yeah.
Did you see what it did?
Yes!
It makes the line for me.
That's right. So one should go down this way and then the other one like that way. Good. That's good.
You don't think I need one? I think this. Should I take this one out?
Yeah, maybe. Because it's kind of out far, isn't it?
Out far, yeah.
Too far. I missed several days. How'd the pretty floral wingback chair come out? Did you paint the legs? I didn't paint the legs. I'm waiting on the fabric for the back. We messed up the cushion the first time around, so I had to use the back fabric. I did find 4.5 more yards, and that's supposed to come in tomorrow. So that's not quite finished yet, but all I have left to do is to put on the back fabric, and then it'll be done. Sativa, that's Sativa. Hi, Sativa.
Hi, Sativa.
We're so excited to see you.
It's camera woman.
Yeah, I'm camera woman today, Sativa. It's all Lisa today. She's doing all the heavy lifting. Looking good. I'm checking the comments section. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in there and we will answer them for you. Lovely. Look at how juicy that seed is.
Oh my gosh.
That's a juicy seed. So now you can trim all of that off, all the excess material. We'll get that back closer so you can see.
Oh my gosh, this is scary.
Yeah, definitely put yourself in the angle that it's more comfortable.
Right? I feel like coming up would be easy.
And go just a little bit at a time. Sativa's nervous. We are too.
Same, girl. Same.
We are too. So we're removing the excess fabric. Seat's looking juicy. We still have to put all the staples in the sides and back. But we got the shape of the front taken care of. The next part's going to be the back. Directly across from it. So we can stretch it evenly. And pulling the back and sides is like the last stitch up.
So
to
this
make
is
everything
okay
fit.
that it's a little bit like, we can just tuck that when we put the stuff on, right?
Yeah, if we need to trim it close, actually it's mostly just fluff.
Just fluff?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all coming out. If we need to trim it closer before we put the trim on, we will. We'll know as soon as we get the trim out and ready what's going to get covered and what's going to stick out. So we do want to remove anything that sticks out of the trim before we glue it down. But that's not going to be a today thing.
That is not a today
we might
problem.
just get to this part today.
Yeah.
We might get to measuring.
This was a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, it's labor intensive to get it right. So if it's not cutting, that's telling you that it's not sharp anymore.
Oh.
So we can take this and we can actually flip it over.
Oh, all
I have another blade too, so when it starts to go dull again, you might get through the rest of this. You got through half of it already.
Well, no.
Oh, you didn't. They do go dull, and it's the fabric that makes it dull, which was odd. Sometimes your scissors might be able to get in there too.
I feel like that's going to be like a tip of the scissor kind of trim.
Mm-hmm.
So you went like this. Oh my gosh. Sativa, I'm freaking out.
You got it, girl. You got it. Yes, just like that. Watch your fingers. So you're going too low. You need to be you need to be right in the ditch of where that wood meets wood.
Okay.
So that's what's going to guide your knife too. If you go right in that ditch, it's just going to. Did you see that? It's going to glide. It's going to stay on track.
Gotcha.
See that?
Yes.
And that's how close we want it to be.
Oh, that's so much easier too.
Sativa says, not a today problem equals my new motto and mantra.
There you go.
That's for future me to figure out.
That's right. That's for future me. That's a future me problem.
Future me problem. We put a lot on future me.
Future me has a lot of jobs.
A lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody's looking at the top of my head, I feel like.
No, they're not. They're looking at the couch. On this side piece, use scissors and you can leave like a 1/2 inch overlap there. And you're taking that recliner home today, right, to get stripped out?
Yep, brought the truck.
If it goes dull, let me know because I got another blade.
I think I have a staple in the wrong place.
Too low?
Too low.
Get it out of there. It's in the wood. That's not where it goes.
No.
Talk about nervous.
Taking a staple out?
With no material to stretch it. Good. Now we're looking at the back of your head for sure.
Well, I can see where I need my highlights now.
I think you can go back a little bit further. You're not all the way in that
Still?
cut. I mean, what you cut is probably fine. Oof. Did that go too high? No. You got it. Yes, that's how high.
Holy smokes!
She's just doing it. Just doing it. Is it dull?
Yeah.
Is it fraying?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want that.
Alright, so pull this and that opens.
When we go back there with the hot glue, that prevents it from fraying.
Frame
as
later.
well.
Okay, good.
Good camera zoom. I'm a nervous wreck. You're a nervous wreck.
Right?
You're not the one with the
freaking
blade in your
out.
hand. She's doing it. Woo! That's slick.
Here we go.
That's beautiful. And that is how you upholster the front of a sofa for a single welt. A single welt will clean up very nicely. Ooh. God, that green looks gorgeous with that gold.
Looks really good.
Sorry, guys. You're only looking at nothing over here.
I'm missing the top of my head again.
Nah, these ones are zoomed out. If it's going dull, you can open it up and flip the blade around. Love a Peach just got the #1 gifter badge.
Woo!
I love a peach too. That rose was for expert cutting. She can't see your face. She said thank you. She's crying.
Because she's freaking out right now.
Would this green color look good on floral chair the floral chair legs? The color green? Yeah. Yes, because it is a yellower green velvet. And so she asked for, let me zoom this out. She asked for like a headrest cover and arm covers, which are like little old lady type things to do, but they get dirty fast, and this is a linen fabric. It will get dirty fast. I'm going to make some out of the floral, but I'm also going to make some in a leaf shape for the headrest out of this green, and for the arms I'll make them out of a leaf shape so that they look like leaves, just in case she doesn't want to paint the legs. But the legs will look great with like a deep green with yellow green in the details, like little stems. I really love that idea. So Tiva says, yes! That's so pretty. I love the leaf shape idea. Yeah, I'm hoping she's gonna love it. I invented this pillow that is a flower pillow. It's like got flower petals, and it's a coil, like it all rolls up into a coil. Lisa's seen it. Yeah. I'm going to make her one of those pillows for that seat.
Cute.
Yes. Okay, we got the front done. Leave a 1/2 inch next to those staples on the sides. That'll be so pretty. Love the leaf shape idea. Yeah, I'm excited about it. She's going to be shocked. And this is going to be done 2 weeks early. So she'll be happy about that too. Loving it. Look what you did today. So let's finish stapling down the sides and the back.
All right.
So that we can get that done. I see, before we start locking down all this, let's get all this excess material out of here. When this staples down, try not to put it on top of foam or anything because that'll really hinder it. But from the center to the edge, from the center to the edge. This you probably won't have to cut anything off except for this tail back here. I think that is just enough material.
We like skimmed the edge here, for sure.
Oof.
How does it look from the front with my hand that way to push it through?
So, you want to look down at the shape.
Can you tell with
The
my hand in
line.
there?
I cannot yet, but hold on. Let me get this, because it's a good question. So the shape that we're trying to control when we pull the side is this line here. So first you want to make sure this foam is tucked into place. But you want to keep this line straight. If you pull too tight in one area, like it'll, see this dimple right here?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So you're probably going to be doing a lot of this pushing and
That's what I was
pull with
thinking.
the wide part of your hand like I am, and then start like pull one in the middle there. I think once you lock this down in the middle, you'll be able to just go across.
Okay.
I don't think you'll have to pull anything. That's already as tight as it can go.
Yeah, like I've got nothing to go on. Alright, how's that? Is that good?
Yeah, that looks great. So we're locking down all of the back and sides now and cutting off any excess material. God, that seat turned out so good. Listen to this.
I know.
You want it to sound like a spanking. You don't want it to like sound
You're gonna
like
cry? I'll give you something to cry about.
Nice and bouncy. You don't want it to be so tight that when you sit on it, it rips the staples away from the edge. It's a close one.
That was a close one. Never mind that my staples are going two different directions.
Doesn't matter.
They're all on 45-degree angle.
They're all on diagonals. Doesn't matter which direction they are. They're being put in diagonally because they cover more surface area, which is going to make it a stronger hold.
Could I have a hammer, please?
You sure can. Sativa says, breathe. We need a tack hammer.
Yes. That's a temporary in the center, but it's fine, so I'd rather just...
Use this and not the silicone end.
Yep.
If you've ever wanted to learn upholstery, this is what we do. We teach. Lisa started taking upholstery classes with me over a year ago. In July or June?
June.
In June, she will have been running her own business for a year. Taking it slow though, right? How many clients have you had in a year? Not counting the one we just got you.
6, 7?
6 clients, 7. Yep. And then in between, she's been taking on sponsored projects from me that allow her to take free classes to get better at certain skills while she works on projects for me and for other clients. And I have officially hired her on as part of the LOCO team, which is going to be open to people nationwide soon enough. But right now, we just have a home team of about 6 of us that do upholstery and furniture customization and custom builds. And so she got into this to do her own chair for fun, and now she's working for me.
Right.
And herself, of course.
And I got my husband.
I held my breath the entire time she was cutting the excess in the front.
Is that Sativa?
So did she. She almost
Yeah,
passed
I
out.
did.
Sativa says, congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank
Gian's Creations says star heart eyes, fire emoji, fire emoji.
Nice.
I agree. It's looking lovely. Now the velvet is all mucked up because we were playing with it.
Oh, it's not smooth.
So I'll brush it on. I like to provide my clients with a block of wood upholstered in this velvet because you can use it as a brush
Oh.
to brush it. It takes the hair off of it. We've got pets. Look at I might keep this one. This would be good in the shop.
On what?
In the shop.
Yes.
On the shop floor.
Yes, it is. Can be where we sit and take our break.
Yeah. Well, I'm calling that area the cuddle puddle.
The cuddle puddle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't quite hear you over there. Sorry, guys. We weren't saying anything important. We were just smoothing out the seat. Look how lovely that looks. So I do want you to give that side an extra pull. It looks a little high here. So on this side, and then when you get to the back.
Is the front okay? Because I already
The
went down
front
the
looks
front.
great. It's
Okay.
just like a little high in the back.
Okay.
So just do the,
Back more.
yeah, the back corner there. Let me remind you guys of what's going on the outside of this. Bianca Sinclair says, that's so pretty. She's doing a great job. What's the easiest fabric to work with for a first project? Anything that, like a heavyweight upholstery fabric
That doesn't have a
that doesn't
pattern.
fray and it doesn't have a pattern. Solid color, no fray, no pattern.
No stripes.
Something that has a backing on it, definitely not velvet. Don't use that as your first fabric.
No.
That's a mistake. Definitely not leather, definitely not vinyl. Those are harder. Backing sleeves that have backing on them can be really good.
Yeah.
But if they fray, you're gonna struggle. So this is the fabric that goes on the front. How's this looking now? Let's see. Is it a vision? Hold it, I wanna see. Come over where I'm at. Here. You need to move your body. You're in the way.
Move your
I wanna
body.
see you.
Move.
Woo! That's gonna be so cute.
Check out these stripes.
So this wraps around to the front.
We're super brave.
You're so brave.
Kim is brave upon my behalf.
I'm being brave enough for everybody.
That's right.
That looks so good. That's gonna be very, very cool. That's the plan with the outside. The gold was a great move.
Yes, I think the gold was the right call.
The fabric is fire. Thank you so much. We got, so the velvet was like $27 a yard on sale.
Oh.
And I think it was like 40% off. So it was well over that to buy it full price. But the stripy fabric was $8 a yard at Discount Fabric Outlet, which is our happy place.
Yes.
We love it. Everybody loves the fabric.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. So after you get all of that on, ooh, I gotta plug in. We're at 2% on TikTok, guys. Sorry, my
Uh-oh.
phone's dead. After you get that on, we're gonna lay it back and we're gonna measure from the deep button tufted.
With my
back.
crown in the front.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen in time.
It will. It will. You got it.
Ooh, we're still there. We did it.
How's my crown looking over here?
I'm over here catcalling that beautiful love settee. Ooh, pretty girl. That's imagine how I imagine she said it. That looks great. Yeah, that looks wonderful. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now that is a cool old piece. Yeah, so if you go back to, I posted a video this morning. Towards the end of the video, it shows what it looked like before. So it didn't look anything like this before. It was very country bumpkin, yellow plaid. It was not this luxurious looking. Oh, you feel this? That is so good. This side's already done?
Yeah.
Nice.
Does it look, the
Yeah.
crown look good?
The crown looks great. This line looks nice and straight. Your back line looks nice and straight. This line looks nice and straight. Everything looks smooth.
Smooth like butter.
That's a sexy seat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sexy seat. The colors.
No, staples.
Out. I got you. Let me reach into it. Box
See if we
of
can find a box
staples.
of staples.
So this fabric I want you to fold up. Just put a few staples in to hold it like up.
Okay.
And then cut it off. Just so it has extra, a little bit extra hold.
Gotcha.
As long as nothing is sticking outside of the frame, that should be good. When you push on it, it should be wrinkle. That's great. You can see your hands. So there are like pros and cons to velvet. 2 pros. Looks good, feels good. End of this.
There's no other.
Cons, it can be permanently damaged. This is performance velvet though, so it holds up to scratches and stuff. Regular velvet, you wouldn't be able to do this to. It would permanently mess it up. You can even, that didn't even get rid of all of them. I have to brush it a couple times to get those out. But permanent velvet, like keys in your pocket, will permanently scratch it. If it wrinkles, it permanently wrinkles. This is performance velvet though, so this can be ironed, steamed. It can, it's stain resistant, I believe, which is good.
Yeah.
Some velvets you can't get wet because it'll shrink or it'll discolor it or heat will discolor it. This is not one of those. This is a really high performance velvet. It's polyester velvet. It's not, like it's still super soft and super beautiful and shiny. But it's not.
It's like all the best of
Fancy.
velvet without all the cons.
I love these antique pieces of furniture, but they are so impractical for like everyday use. And I desperately want to have furniture like this in my home. But like, I can't lay down and watch TV on one of these things.
Right.
I can have people over, but like, I don't have people over. So everyone in my house is gonna waller the furniture. They're just gonna trash it. So I like to put materials on them that can hold up to pets and families, beef up the foam on them so that you can like lean into it a little bit and be comfortable. I really want fabric like this. It's just not comfortable. Not fabric, but furniture.
Okay.
Gorgeous. Trim.
Do you, just across the back, you wanted that flipped up, right?
This back and sides, but of course this side you can't because I don't have enough. That looks good. So the next step is going to be to measure for deep button tufting. And then we probably cut the holes. What time is it?
1 something?
Well, it's only 1. We got an hour.
Oh, alright.
We'll definitely measure and cut. I don't know if we'll get to the sides. We'll definitely get. I'm really unsure about how to tackle the sides.
The sides? What do you mean? Where?
The deep button tuft, like how many buttons are gonna
Oh,
go in
here?
there. Yeah, it's all gonna depend on what we do on the back.
Are you thinking 1 row of buttons or 2 across the back?
3 for a diamond, or 4, or 3. So there's the middle row and then the top and bottom
Oh.
to make diamond tufting.
Oh, we're not only doing deep button tucking, we're
Ye-
diamond tucking.
Yeah, well, deep button tufting
Is diamond
is
tucking?
diamond tufting. You can do it as a square, but when your fabric folds on the true bias on the square, it's really hard to get it crisp and clean. So that's why it's done in a diamond, because it stretches out better and makes the fold easier.
Gotcha.
So not all fabric is going to be easy for just a square deep button tuft, so we do diamond. Biscuit tufting is good for square tufts because it doesn't go all the way through the foam, so it doesn't stretch the fabric. On deep button tuft, we cut a hole that's bigger than the button, and the button goes all the way back to the substrate fabric. Yeah, all the way back to the barrier fabric. This is so cool. It's so like nice and tight.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Hard part's over. No, it's not. That's not true.
It's not
The deep button is gonna be hard. But we're here for it. I will say that the back is going to require 2 pieces of fabric because the deep button tuft
takes up.
takes up more fabric. But the
We
cool
can
thing is
hide
you
a
can hide
seam
it
in the tuft, right? Yeah.
Yep, you can hide it in a fold, so you won't even know. So we do need 2 pieces of fabric that are the width of the couch, the whole 64-inch width.
Which is the whole width of.
Right. We'll measure the width after we get the holes cut, because then we can measure inside the holes, because each hole goes in 2 inches and then it comes out 2 inches. So you're basically adding 4 inches for every button that's on there, so that you have enough material to get in there and then come out. Even though we're putting it on a little. Before we measure for buttons, I want to staple the foam into place. Because some of the foam, you can see, kind of falls below the line, some of it goes above it. So we want to establish that line before we lock anything else down, because our measurements for our button tufts have to come from it.
Gotcha.
So what I want to do is take that protractor and mark the line that we're going to follow. Or, actually, this might be easy, because these staples are a 1/2 inch wide. I always do this. I just take a little chunk of these. Where's your Sharpie? Do you have that? So we want all of our material to come within a 1/2 inch of this edge, because if we layer all of our material up there, it's going to stack up taller than the show would, and you're not going to be able to trim it out and make it look nice. So this is a 1/2 inch staple, kind of like, actually, if you could get a Sharpie into the seam tuck, I would use a seam tuck for this.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So you can take this staple right up to the edge and just make a line, and kind of just follow along, and just play connect the dots. You don't have to have a line everywhere, but just, you want that to go all the way, the whole sofa, the whole thing.
And 1/2 inches
Is
this
the
way.
width. Yeah, the width of the crown of the staple. I wish I had a Sharpie that would fit in the seam because
Would a fine tip one fit?
maybe. They might have them. Let's see if they have one up front.
Look at you.
And I will put this closer so you guys can see. The bench looks a little higher on the right. It is not. We've measured. All right. Let's see. Get you guys over here where.
It could be just
I
the
don't know if you can
direction
see.
of the velvet.
Yeah, or the angle of the camera too. All right. I'm going back through. Is she teaching? Yes. Yes. So I am. So Lisa has been working with me for over a year. She takes clients now, but I work directly with her on things that she has not done a lot of, and she's not done deep button tufting. I'm over here teaching her, even though she's done things like this, because you guys are here, and this is how you should learn. Now that is a cool old piece. Happy little cushions. Going through. That's so pretty. And the fabric is fire. Was the last one we had on this. So right now Lisa is marking a line in which we're gonna take all of our material, all of our foam and batting material up to. We want it to be a half inch away from the show edge of the wood so that we can flatten out that area, and just like we did on the front here, where everything is flat and the fabric goes right up to the show edge, we don't have any batting or any foam or anything sticking out of there because we didn't put any material within a half inch of here, about the thickness of my finger. You can use a double welt to cover up your staples here, but we're gonna use a single welt, which is why we did our staples end for end right along the edge of that, because we want a nice, thin, little, clean piece of single welt. That's looking good.
Yeah, protractor definitely would be like a good move.
I don't think that the Sharpie fits in the protractor either. Let me see if they have one. Hi, babies. Time to get some protractors. Time to order a protractor.
Yeah,
Whoa, I almost just died.
don't do that.
Slipping on the cord. In the back too. You're a
It's
lot
like the most
closer.
awkward.
You're a lot closer in the back.
The back, I think,
I
is
think
like
the back is
pretty
good.
good.
Just see where it dips a little bit
Mhm.
right there, and I
Yeah.
think that's mostly the cut of the foam. We can push that into place. The back is more, you can see it more clearly. Hey, there's a gun. We've located all the guns.
Oh, finally?
I don't know if a regular pen will work on that wood.
No.
Wait,
Working?
I mean, I can see it. Can you see it? You there?
A regular pen won't fit in that?
A regular pen does, I just got recent.
Oh. Uh-oh.
See a little bit.
If
But
you-
what I can say is it's very
So
clearly this like black line.
it is pretty much that black line.
Yeah.
So, just curious,
Uh-huh.
if you take the center of that out, will the Sharpie fit in the bigger hole?
It might, but it won't rotate.
Are
I
you
don't
sure?
think it'll rotate. No, I'm not sure. But it's a way bigger hole. So now the
So-
distance from the center to the outside is no
Not the
longer a
same.
half inch. So nope.
Lucas.
Buoys. But like, see this? Like this I know is about a half inch down there. I can eyeball it. If you want me to go through and just do it.
I mean, I feel like
I'm happy with
you're
you
okay with
eyeballing it. As long as that shape looks okay when we're done. I've been eyeballing for years. What direction are the staples put in on the front? Great question. Let's get close so you can see. So because we're putting a single welt here, and the single welt is much thinner than a double welt, our staples are end for end, right across the front. Real close together. and right up next to each other. We gotta clean up around that leg a little bit better,
Yep, it needs some help.
but everything around the front looks great.
So guess what this Sharpie's doing?
What?
It's taking off some of that black.
The ink? Yeah, that checks out. And if you feel good about it after that, we can flip it back.
All right, we can what?
Flip it back.
Oh, flip it back so
Like
we're.
this.
Gotcha. Okay, do you see the cap to the Sharpie? Dang it.
Probably in the pocket. Nope. Right here. That's Lily and Poppy. Going nuts. Okay, ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, tick. Be real careful not to scratch up the wood on the wood here. Let's
How
move
about-
everybody to the back. Or I think it might be
To put
easier
some
to
fabric.
flip this
Do you want
over.
to turn it around?
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Let's back it up some this way, and then we'll do something.
Oh, you're gonna.
So now we just turn it.
I gotcha.
Yay!
Yay.
So we'll do the back first. And just like we do with everything, we're gonna start in the center. Your battery's about to die.
Mine is?
Yeah,
Okay.
your battery saver is on. You're at 9%. I don't know how to get rid of the covering thing. I don't know what I did.
I don't want to
Nope,
put that
don't
back.
do that. Maybe that's it.
Oh, there you go.
I did it. I did it.
Oops.
So before we measure for buttons, oh no. We gotta lock all of the foam edges down with staples to get them nice and smooth. I don't know what D means, but you can expand on it.
Why isn't it charging?
Is this on?
It's on, yeah. Let's see. Oh, it is. Okay, good. All right.
So this is gonna come down. This is your 1/2 inch edge.
Yes.
Right here. This is gonna come down, and you're just gonna push the corner down.
Just like we did on the front.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this will be foam, and all of these staples are gonna be diagonal, straight across, so that can smooth out and make a gradient up to that point.
So that cut edge is what is touching the edge.
Yes, and you want that all to come to the same spot
Okay.
across, because that's your line. If your line is wavy at this stage, it is wavy at the last stage. And we don't want that. So I'm gonna get one of these, preferably mine, close up. Let me do the first couple for you so you can see what I mean.
All right.
And some of this, if you find, I know it's this part here, see how it goes a little low? You might have to find yourself pulling that up into place. So with a 2-inch foam, you're gonna get a lot of resistance. If you stop right with one staple and let go, it's gonna pull up and the staple will pop out. So here I can just press down, this is already smoothed up, and now I'm just, also don't push into it, just covering the top edge of that with the staple and keeping it as straight and even as I can, going all the way across.
Okay. And those should be 45.
Yeah, about a 45-degree angle. And that's to cover more surface area to keep it flat. Good, just keep it closer than that. There you go. All that foam should come down to the same place. None of it should go taller. So when you're pressing the foam down, remember you're not stretching it towards you.
Yes.
You're just pushing the edge
Okay.
down.
So I should take that one out.
Yeah, this looks like it comes, these two here
Yeah.
go back a little too far.
You see the puller?
Time to get a new puller. We got lots of them. What is the best direction for the fabric to go on in the back? It's all going to depend on your fabric. So there's some fabric that you can get that's railroaded, which means it comes off the length of the bolt. That's good fabric to put on a sofa that is longer than the width of a standard bolt of fabric, which is about 54 inches wide. We are putting this on from the width of the fabric. We can't railroad it because the nap of the velvet only goes in one direction, and we have to put it on in the direction of the nap of the velvet. So in this case, the 54-inch width goes this way, which is not wide enough to actually cover the back of the sofa. The sofa is longer than 54 inches. But we're doing deep button tufting so we can hide that seam in the tufts. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's much better. Now these guys are looking in the back of here. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yep, come look from here. I want you to see the edge is a line.
Oh, okay.
This is your line.
Yeah.
And that's the line that we're trying to keep straight, but also the distance from this line to the edge of the wood should also be the same. And when we put our batting on here, our batting is going to go down and go slightly beyond that. It's going to
Okay.
come to halfway between there and there. And then the fabric goes all the way up to the edge. I'm kind of glad we're not going to get to the actual tufting today because I really wanted to put cotton batting on the back of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We'll get the holes cut and stuff. Andrew says he's on lunch. Andrew is an upholsterer already. Andrew is taking his upholstery lunch break to watch us do upholstery.
That's awesome.
Andrew, what the hell's wrong with you?
It's like, what can I say? I love the craft.
We are at 21.2 thousand likes. It is 1:30, and we'd like to get to at least 25,000 likes to keep the algorithm gods happy because that's what we average every Tuesday. So I need you guys to violently tap that screen as much as possible. Tap, 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 tap. There's a little pink heart that's going to show up here in the upper left-hand corner. It's like a meter, and you just keep tapping until that meter hits the end, and then it's going to be fireworks. It'll throw you a party. It's a lot of fun. When you guys do that, when you engage with my content here by asking questions or sharing it with your friends or commenting or liking violently like I'm telling you to right now, it pushes my content out through the For You page, not just here on TikTok. It does it on Facebook. It does it on Instagram too. People get to see what it is that I do for a living. There's like a, is it your phone? There's like a, see like a dark line?
It did that on yours last week. I don't know why it
On
did that.
Instagram?
Yeah, just on
It's-
Instagram.
It's probably like we're a way we're looking at the comments. On Instagram, on the Ramsay's feed, are you guys seeing a dark line through half of the screen? Because I am seeing a dark line through half of the screen. That is looking good. And we got a lot of likes coming through. We're already at 22.4 thousand likes. We got a half hour to get to 25,000 likes. We're definitely not going to get to cutting holes for button tufting today.
No.
We thought we were, but this seat
Was a bear.
This seat was a bear, but it looks gorgeous. And we'll get some pictures. We're definitely going to get the rest of this foam stapled down, if that's any consolation. You got to keep learning, even if you think you know it all. I learn something new every friggin' project. Every project that I work on, I learn something new that I didn't know before. So it looks like, hold on, this is the area where it was like steeping down a little
okay.
bit. So this is the one where you're just going to want to bring it up.
a little more. Are those
And
two
those
okay?
too far back. Yeah, you can see them. I know you can see it.
I know.
Too far. If you're wondering if I will make you undo the work to make it look perfect, the answer is yes. Because my students come out of here looking like they do professional work on their first project, and that's how I'd like to keep it. And you're so much happier with it when you're done.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit longer, but I also teach you how to do the work without putting all the staples in too soon, so that way you don't find yourself removing staples for the majority of the time. They said there is no dark line through the center.
Oh, so it's
that's
just
gotta
something
be,
going on with with Instagram.
it's got about how we see the comments on our end
Yeah.
or something. It's not like that on my Instagram, but remember I brought up that text screen. I think that had something to do with it.
Oh, maybe.
Carly says, great teaching standards. Thank you so much. The weird thing is about upholstery is that, hold on one second.
No.
Step back here. I know you see it.
Yeah.
Come back. It just goes zoop down this way. So I think you need to bring the stretch up a little farther.
Okay.
It's just where it got cut a little bit low or glued a little bit low in that area.
Okay.
So these guys, we gotta come out. I know. Stable removal's not sexy. I love Loco, Kathy says. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. We love you, too. 2 blue queens. You got blue hair.
I got blue hair and blue shirt.
And blue shirt. Thanks for coming, Kathy. We're glad that you're here. I am over here being real tough on Lisa so she can
Do it right.
do it properly, but she's only 4 staples deep into the deep end. It's not that bad. I love how you use that fabric to protect the show wood, you smarty pants.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a brand new paint job. We don't want to mess
Yeah,
it
I'm
up.
trying not to mess it up.
So we put that piece of fabric. You're being broadcast. I don't know what that means. Like on TikTok for sure. Blue and purple look very similar. They do. My hair is I just re-dyed it this weekend, so it's still in that purpley blue phase
It is
too.
more purpley.
It's like an inky. It starts off like a dark inky purple. Indoors without like bright light, it almost looks black. But like in the sun, oh my god, it glows. Kathy said she's here to mod. Thanks. We are not getting a. Oh my god, it glows. Kathy said she's here to mod. Thanks. We are not getting a. There's a lot of people requesting to be in the video, and I just want to let you guys know that I don't do that because I don't know you, and we have done that in the past where it was like spam or inappropriate or scary, and I just can't trust it. If I get to know you and you're here all the time, I'm happy to bring you on. But Kathy shared the live with more than 10 friends. Kathy's doing the work, you guys. Kathy is doing the work. Where do you find the furniture to reupholster? Lots of places. The trash.
Garbage.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Trash is free.
Yep. Grandma's house.
Grandma's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have some at home. Practice on your own stuff first. Thrift stores are great. Estate sales.
Garage sales.
People donate to me now. Now that I'm into furniture, there's this piece that we're working on right now was donated to the class for students to learn on by someone who is just a fan of the page. So we get a lot of donations, but I find a lot of stuff in the trash. I love picking through the trash. I've been picking through the trash since I was a little kid. 23.3 thousand. We just need 2,000 more, you guys. So you can get your furniture from anywhere, and I suggest when you're just learning this that you get the free furniture first.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to spend money on something if you don't know that you're into it yet. So use free stuff first. Trash is free, and they usually throw the good stuff away. What I will say is that you thanks, Kathy. Kathy says don't read this out loud for your own safety. I've read some weird stuff out loud before pre-reading it, so I totally get that. Yeah, we want to not dump any money into this hobby until we're for sure we know we want to do it, because you're gonna get through to the staple removal phase, and you're gonna know right away.
You're either in or you're out.
Do you ever build furniture, upholstered headboards? Yep. Actually, my husband and I fabricated our own furniture and fixtures for commercial and residential spaces for 6 years. So we fabricated furniture for 6 years before we closed our business. We were in and over our heads. We were working 7 days a week, 15-hour days, and burning the candle at all of the ends, even through the middle. Both ends and in the middle. Step back. Step back. I want you to take a look at this line. Goes deeper and deeper down there. You see that? So what we need to do is find out where it's starting to go south. It might be quite a bit of this back.
Okay. This is what happens when you painted 8 hours yesterday, and like my arms are.
Yeah. So here we're about almost 3/4 inches away. Down here, only about 3/4 inches away. That might just be
Just an
my
optical
eyeballs.
illusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing fine.
Ah.
Yes, that's an optical illusion, but it is getting pretty dicey here in this
All
corner.
right.
I back up to this point right here,
Okay.
and just keep it on the edge. See how also
Yeah,
that
it's
foam is rolling up?
Yeah, I saw that.
We want to hold it down flat. That's what the staples are for. So your staples are getting too low, your foam is where it needs to be, but your staples are going too far up.
in.
Yep.
Okay. So
I know you saw it.
I did.
There's only like 4 staples there that gotta get removed. Guys, sometimes I accidentally swipe on here, and I think on a couple of occasions I have accidentally blocked some people. So, I apologize. Because it happens so fast when I swipe up to look at the comments, everything comes up, and then I push buttons before I know I'm pushing buttons.
No button pushing willy-nilly.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
When I worked in IT, we called that flagrant clicking. Because people would just be like clicking.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop.
Oh, yeah.
Stop clicking.
And then it's like backs everything up.
Yeah.
Almost to the end of that. It's 1:39. We're at 24.4 thousand likes. We need to get to 25,000 likes before we get off here at 2 p.m. So if you guys are here and you're watching and you're learning anything, I want you to tap the screen as violently as possible. And
Better?
just tap, 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 tap. We need to get as many likes as we can before we get off of here. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah, you're flattening out that foam. And see how you're also, yeah, pull the foam down where it starts to go high in the back. Because as you get closer to that back corner, see how the foam is like.
Oh, where it's lifted? Yeah.
So it's kind of like
I had to like
tucking
smush it.
this side
Yeah.
down
I
and
could do
then
that on the other corner.
pushing down
Push
like
it
that.
all in. Too many cords.
Too many cords. It is looking good. Nice. Now we gotta do the same thing to the sides, which is gonna be tougher because we do have some inconsistencies in height there, but you can see your line
Yes.
at least.
Yes, yes.
So you'll be pushing this so that this top fold meets that
That's
line.
the line.
Yep. And that might mean tucking this back so that it's not all underneath itself, but just pulling that so that it meets the line. So you can even pull it up if you need to. You'll get a little bit of a stretch there.
Okay.
But I would work from the center here out and then the center up. As per usual.
As per the usual.
You need more hose? I can get you. You stay. I'll go. I'm such a good assistant.
You are a great assistant.
I never had an assistant like to work with. Like especially the last couple of years, my husband and I were split up by shops. He had his own shop and I had my own. So it was just me. Handing myself tools.
Right?
You're watching from TikTok and Instagram. You're getting two different angles here.
Okay, I'm not even to the line.
You're close though. You're close. No, you still take it out.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm just being encouraging.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Looks good. How do we do workshops like yours in other areas of the country? I'm so glad you asked, Star. I actually teach virtual upholstery workshops over Zoom, too. So you can join me via Zoom. Now, those classes right now are Monday evenings, 5 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday afternoons, 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time it is in your country. Right now, it's 2 p.m. So a Saturday afternoon class would be starting right about this time, in like 15 minutes. So if you're up and at 'em now about this time, and you're up and at 'em now on Saturdays at this time, you can join those workshops. The ones that happen on Mondays are later in the evening from 5 to 9 p.m. That's in 3 hours. I think where Sharon O'Connor comes from, she's in the UK. She's like 6 hours.
Yeah, I
I
think
can't
they're
remember
6
if it's ahead or behind.
They're ahead.
Instagram, we are about to lose power, and I want to make sure I save this, so I'm logging off with you for today. We will not get to the deep button tufting, so all this stapling is all you're going to miss. You can catch this live replay over on YouTube later on tonight to catch the things that you didn't miss, but I'm going to log off this now so I can make sure I can save this video. Thanks for joining us, guys. If we're still over on TikTok, and the Ramsay House Upholstery is logged on Instagram, so you can catch Instagram on Ramsay House Upholstery. Ramsay. We'll see you guys later.
Staples.
Need more?
Yep.
I got you. Oh, I knocked your water cup over.
Whoopsie.
And it's spilled. That's not a great water cup. How much you pay for that? That's a Stanley!
It is a Stanley. Wait, these are shorties.
Oh. Did I hand you two?
Yeah, you did.
They both shorties?
Yep, they're both shorties. Definitely need long ones for this.
Definitely need long ones for this. Now I want to get to the top. How's it going? Are you struggling?
Kind of.
Because it's resistant.
It is.
It
and
looks
I feel
good.
like- is it okay?
Yeah,
Alright.
it looks fine.
It's like awkward.
So
Now what?
I'm trying to share it, and it says it's shared. I don't know. Let me close it out.
That one didn't even go in.
Too low?
Oh.
No, that looks great, and it looks consistent from this angle. That's what we're working towards. So we're just doing this part right here to smooth out the transition from foam to where batting and fabric and
What's
everything will
the
go in.
pressure on the gun?
Oh, is it?
I wonder if
Did
it's,
it come unplugged?
I wonder if it's too low. Cause I've got like 3 staples that didn't go in.
Nope.
No?
Full pressure. I think you're just missing the wood. Like this is, end of the
Oh,
wood.
gotcha.
so this probably has to come
Come up a little bit higher, okay.
We know it's low in some areas, but unfortunately after you glue it,
Yeah.
that's where it lives.
That's where it is.
We did it! We're over 26,000 likes.
Nice.
Thanks, guys. Whenever we remind you, and if you're here and you're learning, whenever we remind you, if you could just tap the likes button because it sends our content out to the For You page, not just here, on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. And that's how people find out about me, and that's how people learn that I teach upholstery workshops. Whether they're in person or they're virtual, I teach upholstery workshops 4 days a week here at my local makerspace, Makerworks. And I don't know if you've ever heard of a makerspace before, but it's like having a gym membership for tools. It's incredible. I have a membership here. I don't have my own shop. I work on all my projects here at my local makerspace. I teach my classes out of their all-purpose classroom. And anybody from the public can come here. And you're going to also do right along that edge, too, the straight edge.
Oh.
Yeah, all the way down to the seat. Just so you know. Yay! Lisa's putting in the work today. You'll notice the consistency and spacing between the edge of Lisa's foam and the edge of the show wood. Put your finger on the show wood. See that? It's about the width of a finger, so that when we go to put our trim on there, that it's nice and clean. The next piece that goes on after the foam is batting. That's going to go halfway between the foam and show wood, and that staple's going to be diagonal too, just like these ones. And then after batting, we put fabric on, and the fabric goes right to the frame, like right to the show wood, and the staples go long ways, end for end, almost like stitches. And Lisa's putting these staples in diagonally so that it holds down the edge of that foam, so you won't be able to see the transition from foam to wood. It's going to smooth itself down nice and smooth. That looks great, Lisa.
Thank you.
It really does. You did a really good job. And we're getting lots and lots of likes. I see them coming in. I appreciate you guys. That is literally how I run my business. And my business is to train people how to do upholstery so that we can put more skilled tradespeople in these jobs. There is a high demand for upholstery services here in the U.S. and a low supply of skilled tradespeople. So after I closed my business over 2 years ago, I decided to teach as many people how to do this as I possibly can so that we can start filling seats in those jobs and you can start making money doing this. And you don't have to wait until you get a big warehouse or shop to do this. I did this from my living room and dining room for years before I got into a brick and mortar.
That's where we are.
I closed my brick and mortar, and I don't know if I would ever go back to getting a warehouse again. I would love to have a dedicated space. But I work just fine here out of MakerWorks. Actually, everything I did in my business when we fabricated booth seating for restaurants and like furniture and fixtures for commercial and residential spaces, we could have done that here at MakerWorks. They've got enough space and they certainly have all the tools. So don't feel the need to jump into a brick and mortar right away when you start doing this and making money, because you will start making money doing this before you're even done learning. Right, Lisa?
Yep.
People, as soon as you put a staple remover in your hand, everybody and their mother is going to tell you they
As
got
soon as
work
you
for
say,
you.
Oh, I'm doing upholstery. They're like, wait, what? You're doing upholstery?
Oh, I got some
I
work
have
for
a
you.
job for you.
I got lots of work for you. I will keep you busy, they will say. And they will keep you busy. High demand for these services. That looks excellent.
Thank you very much.
So if it needs to be trimmed, then trim it. It doesn't look like it needs to be trimmed.
No, I think it just, a tuck
It'll
is
fall
fine.
in place. Okay. You just don't want it to come above that half-inch
Right.
hole. Looking good. How you feeling, Lisa?
How am
Tired?
I feeling? I am tired. Can you tell? I'm getting slower.
You're moving a little slower.
Yeah,
It looks so good. Are you gonna do the straight bit?
sure.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Everybody's gonna look at my back.
Do you think that you need to set that up, or do you think that's an okay angle? I would work my way down from top, like from this
From
left to
this
right
to that
this
way?
time, because all of the excess will get pushed down into that
Yeah,
cushion
I
if
think
there is any. Think it'll be better
stand it
setting up?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you set it up. Let me zoom this out. And then I'll just move the cameras.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, we're down to 2 cameras now. But they are both plugged in. Maybe not. Maybe we should pick it up and walk around.
Do we want to turn?
Yeah, I'll grab this side, you grab that side, and we'll just, let's do the whole couch, not the, let's leave this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now you gotta move all the cameras.
Yes, now the camera's gotta move. But they can stay on this side where the chargers are safely plugged in.
Also, yay for a long nose.
Yeah, for that corner you need a long nose, huh?
Yep.
If you're going to invest in the right tools, like a pneumatic air gun, I highly suggest you invest in a long nose first. Because there are going to be areas where you need a long nose.
Do you want this a half-inch back, or is it?
No, all the way.
Oh, just up
all
to
the way
the
to
edge.
the edge.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go plug this phone in up front here.
Okay.
Watch your finger. You got it. Show the camera. Right here, right here.
Oh my god.
She stapled her finger.
Shoot. I'm gonna have to get a stupid.
Just pull it. You want me to do it? Just yank. Fast. Does it hurt? Did it go in your bone?
No.
No? Okay. Woof. I'll go get you a Band-Aid.
Band-Aid? I don't want to bleed on anything. Although, this is just my post from the other day.
What? The back of this ripped off while I ripped it off the wall.
Oh no,
so.
you're fine.
Is it bleeding?
It's definitely gonna bleed. The other day I posted that in my family, always the tradition is if somebody drew blood on a project, that it would turn out perfect.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be fine.
And so everything's gonna be good.
Oh, I saw
Here we
that.
go. Here we go. Blood. Blood. It looks pretty wimpy, but
A
also,
little bit of our DNA on every project.
that's for sure.
Oh, that was a...
Oops.
We don't know how to
Okay,
do
we
this.
do upholstery. We're not nurses.
It's been a while since
The
we
nurse
have...
is at home.
Yeah, they do have a nurse at home.
He is. Oh, he's gonna love that one. Also, I definitely need
Ouch,
video
Lisa.
of that.
I got it. I'll give it to you. You can see her face and everything. Ouchie, ouchie.
Ouchie, ouchie.
Right into the finger. Well, at least you weren't like poke it into your hand. Like
No.
you caught it in the air. It could have been way worse. That looks nice and plushy, but I definitely think, see how much rounder this is? I think it's because the layers of the cotton batting. Like just like in this area.
Oh, then
This
what
looks
this is?
so flat to me, and I think it's going to need cotton batting before I put buttons right in the foam. We can tuck a little bit of cotton batting in there when we go to cover it up.
And this needs to go all the way down, right?
Yeah, all the way as far as you can go.
Not into my finger.
And then we got to load this bad boy into my car, and the
one
other
as
one
well.
into your car.
Boo.
She's okay. She made it.
I made it.
You did it. High five
Also,
today.
I've now stapled myself, so that fear is gone.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt right away.
It didn't. I mean,
It
it
happens
really
so
isn't that
fast.
bad. Yeah, it really isn't that bad right now.
Yeah.
So,
It happens so fast you don't
Yeah, it's
really
quick.
feel it until it's
Quick,
done.
quick.
Worse. Okay, I'm gonna flip these cameras around
okay.
so I can see me,
Let's see.
because we gotta end this. Hey guys. All right, we got everybody in here. Fix the hairs.
Let's get straight.
Yay! Okay, let's do like bonanza this whole entire time because Lisa did such a
Go,
great
go,
job
go.
today.
And I stapled
I
myself.
didn't realize how much taller you are than me. Like a whole head taller. I'm a little guy.
No.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm a tall girl.
So let's look at this. Looks so good. This turned out so nice. We didn't get to the deep untucking today because this actually was a little bit
Of a
not
bear.
a struggle, but like
It was just,
a big job.
it was a big job. And it's just, that was a lot getting it through that space. But
Tucking it into tight
tucking was a
spaces.
lot.
And it's like physically exhausting.
Yeah.
Like you're sweating literally the whole entire time. So next Tuesday when we get to this, we'll definitely be doing the deep button tufting in the back. So we're going to show Lisa, this will be your first deep button tufting gig.
First one.
So we're going to show her how to do the measurements, how to cut the holes, and how to attach the fabric to it. We're not using buttons. Now I have time to get some embroidery thread.
Oh, okay. See, it was meant to be.
Right. Well, we're still going to use the like stitches, but we're probably going to have to cover it immediately with embroidery thread. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
But we're done for the rest of the day. You guys can follow us on Instagram, TikTok. I'm Loco. This is Ramsay House Upholstery for now, but I made her get rid of the word
I'm going to
upholstery.
get rid of upholstery.
She does
but
more than upholstery. So they do woodwork, they do painting, they do finishing. We're broadening our
That's right.
horizons. So you can join us next Tuesday for the Deep Button Tufting. You can join local upholstery club for upholstery support if this is something that you're learning and getting into. It's free if you're working on a project from home. You can post about it, tag me in the comments. It's more professionals than just me in that group. There are professionals who've been doing this for decades that are freaking really cool. I have a no unsolicited advice policy. I've only had one person break it and they were blocked instantly without any sort of warning whatsoever. So there's no unsolicited advice in there. Everybody there is there to support you and your learning and the path you choose to learn it in. So you can take your time. There's no pressure. You don't have to worry about feeling stupid because we all started from somewhere, from nowhere, and learned from someone else or something else. So we all know we're all there to support you. I teach classes 4 days a week in person here at MakerWorks, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you're not local to the area, you can come out for a 4-day weekend. My classes are all buy 3, get 1 free, so you get all 4 days for $225. They're also bring a friend free, so you can bring a friend, split the cost, work on one project, learn it together. When you're in the class, the cool thing is you're not just learning from the project that you bring, you learn from everybody around you. So you might be bringing a deep button tufted headboard, but someone else might be tying springs, and someone else might be doing channel back tufting. You're going to learn skills from everybody in the classroom. I also do virtual workshops, so if you can't come to me, you can come to my virtual classes, which are Monday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Those are live over Zoom, so you just bring your project to class at your home, and I will walk you through step by step how to complete it. If you want to email me in advance, send me a picture of your project so I know what you're working on. I can tell you what you need to have ready for the class before you join the class, and then we'll walk you through while you're there. And lastly, I have my weekend upholstery retreat, which is August 15th through the 19th. That is a 5-day, 4-night stay at the Newton of Ypsilanti. You're going to be there this year.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I have 3 assistants that helping me all of the days, so you're going to get to meet a lot of the team during this time. It includes your stay. It includes your chef-prepared meals for every meal, and Allison is an incredible chef, and everything is always beautiful. It includes field trip to Discount Fabric Outlet and Haberman Fabrics. I'm trying to include active foam, but they're getting a CNC router, so like foam cutter. So yeah, so they may be under construction during that time. But she said we're gonna play it by ear. So we might go visit the foam factory too, which is pretty exciting. But that's gonna be either here nor there. But there's also a swag bag that's got some tools included. All of your materials for your project are included. What am I missing? Oh, guest speakers.
Oh.
We have 4 really cool guest speakers. Sharon O'Connor from Vintique Upholstery. She's also on the show Money for Nothing, which airs on the BBC. Wes and Jess Breitenbach. I don't know if I'm saying their last name right, but they're with Crown Upholstery. Friggin' incredible team. He does Tip Tuesdays. They do a lot of educational stuff too. We have Rhonda Shanahan with the Whimsical Chair. She's an incredible seamstress. She does upholstery too. And Nicole Crowder, who is amazing. She writes articles about upholstery. She's done stuff with HGTV. She designs her own furniture and builds it. All of these people are coming to talk to you about their experience with upholstery and how they got into this journey. Anyways, it's jam-packed with a bajillion things, all inclusive. 10 times more expensive than my regular weekends, but definitely worth it. We made it to 33,000 nights. Yes. Lisa did that.
It's because
It's because she bled for it.
I bled for
and
it.
almost cried. So there was blood, there was sweat.
There was sweat. I didn't tear.
No tears, though.
No tears.
So just a recap of what we did today. We got the fabric on the seat. We did some cotton batting under that too. If you zoom, I can't zoom on this. If you zoom in, I don't think you can zoom with your front-facing camera. You can see the staple job here near the edges, how cleanly cut everything is. That's this gap that we worked so hard on when we were stapling the back and sides. We left a sizable gap between the edge of the show wood and all the material, so that when the fabric went right up to that edge, it cleaned up really well around that edge. So we can use a single welt to hide those staples with just a little bit of hot glue. It's good stuff.
Gonna be fancy.
I'm so glad you guys were here. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. We gotta log off today because
Thanks for joining
I've got a meeting with
us.
Salesforce in like 20 minutes. So
Exciting
we
things
also
to
might be
come.
getting some big news later on today. You guys will be the first to know. Or you might not hear from me for a while. Because that would be so sad. Okay, so that's it. Excited to watch the process on this piece. Also love the flower chair. Thank you guys so much. I'll be working on that too. I just got the back to put on. That'll be finished this week. You'll see video from it, but I'm not going to go live about it.
Nice.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Peace.
Deuces.